It's very farming.
There you go.
Thank you.
My. Is there a file with all that? I could count, so I can pull that and run them numbers or?
Yeah, probably. It's behind McDowell there. I don't know. She might be able to find it for you. I'm gonna reconvene this at 1:05. How's that?
Okay.
Okay,
Perfect.
recording is in process.
Brother. Welcome to our sleep study.
So 5:30 tomorrow,
5:30 tomorrow.
5:30.
downstairs,
Conference room.
okay?
So what's going on Thursday then?
Thursday, that I'm 10 o'clock, that ICIT is having their initial meeting with all the department heads.
So I should probably come. Since
Then
I'm not-
Friday, they're gonna give their report at 10,
Okay,
kinda like to hear that.
yeah,
Yeah, we'll have an agenda for Friday.
The following week, we have Farm Bureau.
That's Tuesday.
You do?
it'd be better this year and actually move my calc once in a while.
Got it.
Which one? Oh, February 11th?
What order it's in.
Yep.
Anything like my files at home,
Or after this.
it's not in any order. I know it's like mine, half of them are outdated.
We're looking at
They might be
March,
better.
Terry, if the mailer has to go out the 15th of March. On the 25th is 10 days later. Oh, and that's a Tuesday. Unless it has to be more than 10.
I know, I'll look at that stuff.
More than 10 left, 20.
Just like we're having a public hearing for after our mailer for the budget.
Hopefully the right
We gotta
side.
move it to
I
the
hate when I
first.
get something and it's not right and I have to send it back. Christmas is over.
Has to be certified by what date, April 20th, or what, no, what?
The budget,
Yeah.
the end of April,
April
30th.
30th.
Kind of like this one.
Go like this and you can have it. Buy it now. Oh, I like it.
Kind of a nice
I like it, I like it, yeah.
It's only $69.
Get
Might
it?
be my new
Get one
spring
for Dave
jacket.
too.
It's not bad.
Dave wants it.
Nice looking coat.
Dave wants one.
Can't hardly,
A hat with it?
The hat comes with it.
I've got a black hat at home. I don't need another one. I'm only a bad guy on special days.
Ooh.
Wondered how long it'd take him to jump in. I give Dave crap about that every now and then. I'm the good guy.
I owe silver.
I don't know. I don't have my phone.
I was looking through, to get this thing from weekly from them vacation people. I was looking at that this morning and I don't know if I'll be able to afford to take a vacation again. God, everything's so high priced, isn't it? Good thing I got a big back deck. Vacation in the backyard. Oh, I take turns shooting fireworks at each other.
Your turn.
Yeah, I got a load at 10. I moved everything around for the meeting. That's tomorrow night, so I just shuffled time.
Pam won't be there, so. Right, she's in Mexico, but she's sending Corey Kernan.
The assessment guy, you can have, I saw their forms, tell you what they find. mean, it's not that big a deal.
On,
It's Friday. If you're going Friday, then
Yeah.
we'll fill you in.
Right.
okay,
And they should do a written,
Yeah, I'm sure.
there'll be a written
There'll be a
report to
written
go
review.
with it, I believe
Yeah.
so.
excellent. Yeah, I've made my kid do it for 2 weeks in a row. I just go out and help him out. Oh, I can't go.
Yeah. Yeah. Sunday was so nice.
Here we got one cow. Every night, we feed them in the field. Big old fat cow.
Yeah.
She found a spot in the ditch where she'll squeeze underneath the hot wire, gets buzzed every time. It goes under out, goes up to right there by the feed shed, eats for an hour or two, goes right back in.
She knows where to go
We'll
back in.
chase her back in and she's like, you just tell, I'm not done eating yet. Just this one back every
So
night.
you just
like
have one wire there?
Like clockwork. None of the other ones do it, but there's one underneath, eats at the feed shed and goes right back in.
I think she's not your lead cow.
I don't want the rest to find out.
Right,
No kid.
that's true.
It'll be
She's a smart cow then.
Yep.
Marty smart.
That fencer that's plugged in, or is that
No, it's
solar?
solar.
We got
Is
a,
it plugged in, maybe it,
we get a
That might be a little-
9 to 10 o'clock visitor every night up where the cats get fed. Which pisses me off. She feeds them up by the back door, you know. But we get a possum that shows up this
Mm.
time of the year anyway. And he'll come up for groceries, but you know. They aren't the prettiest thing to look at, but he just, if I walk out the door, I can walk right by him up to my garage. You know, he just watches you.
I don't have any phone.
He don't care. And I don't care. He don't eat much. I know he eats all the crap in the regular, the rest of the year, you know. Yeah, we haven't named him yet. Yes, I'm sure she will.
I have a nephew that, he always tells a story about when he met his current wife and he brought her home to introduce her to, you know, the family, and he went out to my dad's to visit his grandpa. And he said she's a city girl, she's from the Ames area, and there was a possum that my dad saw walk like out of the barn, and he goes, while we're talking, dad walking, he said, your grandpa went over, grabbed a pipe and walked over.
Smack it.
Smashes this, and this girl screams, you know, she's like, oh my God, what are you doing? That's an animal. It's a dead one on this farm.
We had a house guest for a while and she, I wasn't there when it happened, but Natalie said she comes in one night and she's carrying one of the 5-gallon pails. And she said, this little thing was, and she set it down in the garage and she comes running into Natalie. She said, this little animal was laying dead out in the yard. Natalie looked out there and said, get that outside quick before it comes back to life, cause it's fixing to. The possum, she picked it up and put it in the pail.
Oh my Lord.
Didn't know what it was. Apparently their biology classes over in Belgium are very good. That's hilarious.
Yeah, they are an ugly animal.
They aren't pretty, but
They serve their
they're
purpose.
about as harmless as you can get, and they eat everything in the yard that you don't want out there.
My Uncle Daryl picked up a possum that was playing dead and put it in Uncle Tom's van. It's funny. And it crawled up underneath the dash. He couldn't get it out. He
So,
just left the
They
doors
just
open
leave the doors open and.
and must have finally went out, but you trying to reach up in there and you know, you don't want to get bit.
That's funny. Yeah, they really aren't a very aggressive animal. It's funny that other animals don't, like the cats, they don't pay any attention to him.
No,
And Maggie doesn't either, the dog, she don't care, he's fine. Yeah. Any other animal come up there, she, shit, angry, but that possum, he's okay. Tommy, we should fund to name him Tommy.
Kyle, you got a little more digging to go? You want to start?
Oh, you guys go ahead, this is gonna take me a little bit.
Okay.
trying to decipher, there's some of this that is probably need to be picked.
Maybe we should jump to like sheriffs and kind of.
Oh, that's great.
Get that one back out.
Let's jump right in.
Sure. Yeah. This is the deep end.
It's a toughie.
Not that I'm gonna throw it away without asking you first.
Thank you. I know.
Control freak.
No, I'm not.
Okay. Just still tricked. Okay.
So if you look at, we need to set his salary back to, we said our consensus was 6,000, was that right?
I think so.
I think
Is
it
that
was-
what we did with him?
Yeah, I think it was
So you
6.
gave six, basically, then that'd be close to that for,
Just,
you got Brent. And he'll have 2 lieutenants, correct? That's what it, yeah. 'cause I'm pretty
Whatever he
sure.
has, I don't know what he's gonna have.
But them are the only ones that'll be based on his salary.
right,
But we have to remember that in the very beginning of the Back the Blue, you know, when we talked to Steve Holt, there's no, it didn't have to come up in 1 year. There was no time given that it has to be up by this certain time, and we're working diligently to get it up there, correct?
and you got 2 F-150s for then 41,000.
You know what? I seen a Durango down there this morning. When did we get that?
I don't know,
I'm just happy to see it, to be honest with you. Gotta be more fuel efficient. See, 7.
But I mean, he said they have a fleet of, what, they gotta have 10 vehicles?
I wrote down 10.
So they have 10 deputies.
well, are they gonna hire another one, 11 counting Roger?
Right, 11 County Roger.
And when is he gonna hire one more?
Didn't they just get a part-time guy? Didn't
He
they just-
hired Brent to replace
that's-
himself. Yeah.
That's right.
But
Yeah.
I mean, didn't he say that they do 2 vehicles then every year?
Mhm.
So last year, did they? I mean, they only budgeted 40,000,
They got 1 spare
but they
vehicle.
spent 109, so they must have bought 2, but they just budgeted for 1. Because it doesn't matter, that's the year that's passed,
That might have been when,
but. it
that
just
might have been where
makes it
Jim
such a
cut,
huge
we made him
increase
cut.
from 40 to 140.
Did Jim replace his pickup that he traded in?
What did happen to Jim spending?
Oh, yeah. It lives in Dow City. And what got traded in?
Would it be helpful to just go down line by line?
Yeah,
You know, part of the, I hate this, salaries, 962,000 when they lump them all together.
and I don't know who all that is, though. It says regular salary deputies.
Isn't that
To
hard?
me, it's 10 deputies, that's why I got a little note, I got a line in there, I just got 10
I
deputies.
got that.
I wrote that too.
You do.
Cause
But
the
see,
sheriff's on it.
Hold on a minute, when he's got 962 here, that was doing his $15,000 deal. Remember?
He's not in that dollar amount.
Yeah, but he was giving them a percentage of his.
Right, off of the larger percent.
You remember that sheet that we got that showed all them percents each deputy was getting?
Yep,
So that's not a very accurate number. I think if we go back and we look at 24, 25, where's total activity?
820.
All right, 731 and 24. So
Well, that's his
820.
budget because he's not spending it all.
That's the budget. And then we didn't have Troy around for a lot of the year, this year, so that'll be lower. But the 820, hold on a minute, got my calculator up for a reason. And it's 10 deputies. I had that wrote down too, Craig. Nice. Or plus, not time plus. 820. Okay. I looked at it, if just using that 827.62 as a number, if that's the actual number of, each guy's in there for 10, so basically, is that just their salary? That wouldn't be hypers and anything in there, that'd
Right,
be
it's
just
just
salary.
salary.
So if we gave it off of base and using that number as the base, if we gave the deputies a $5,500 pay raise, that would put that number into 25, 26 at 875,762. Yeah. At 10 deputies. And if we went to 6, it'd obviously add another $5,000.
Which is still, even with 3 of those deputies being a percentage of his raise and his percentage is
Are
6,000.
them 10 in there? Was them 3 in the 10?
Yeah, yep, because he has 10 total.
Yes,
What I'm
I
getting
thought
at,
there was something I'm not saying that 8 number, that part of the whole number.
what I'm getting at is 85% of 6,000 is 5,100. So 3 of them would actually get less. What you're proposing at 5,500 per deputy. Per. now.
Yeah, but thing is the back to blue was for the sheriff. And that was the only one we were focusing on for, I'm just trying to get the guys that are on I call them the line deputies or the patrol deputies. I think that giving them a decent bump this year because they didn't get any of them. None of the back blue stuff applied to them. And to me, if you're gonna say you back the blue, just the sheriff. That's my question. I've asked that in Des Moines.
But I'm just saying that if you did 55 across the board for 10 deputies, well, that's 3 of those 10 are gonna be a percentage of his
Well, it wouldn't
6,000.
be, it would, I
right, and
guess,
that 85% of 6,000 is $5,100.
5,100, so 3 of them would actually get less than what you're proposing.
yeah.
And I think Ty's okay with that.
Well, I was,
But how
Those guys
close,
are paid
Okay,
at
so-
84 and 85%
Yeah.
of the salary of the sheriff.
I
These
wasn't
other
counting.
guys are at 70.
I wasn't trying to
Two.
count them. So what would the
Right.
debt, if, here's the other thing I was looking at. So that we can give them I was thinking, actually, I'd like to be at 6 for the line deputies. What if, so 7 of them, be 6,000. So what if we do you were saying 6 for Roger, what if we go to 45, 4.5, or even 4 for Roger and then his other 2? Or his other 3? Saying, cause that they would be part of his. But if you went down to that, it'd still give him, what is he, 97?
Well, Roger's at 6.
6, that's what we.
And those other 3 guys their salaries tied to him. One's at 85, 2 are at 84, aren't they?
Something like that, yeah, so they're kind of
Well,
stuck.
there isn't a second
Gene, what do you
lieutenant
got?
right now. So
Those
there's only-
other
only 2.
deputies have
Okay.
been
Yeah, there's
union
only the
all
one
the
right
time,
now.
so they've never really gone.
But,
by
so
the
you still have to
percentage
plan for
of,
2,
uh,
cause I'm sure he'll promote somebody in the near
Right.
future.
So we're keeping that in the new,
Uh,
by giving them a percentage.
I'm not trying to short anybody here, but I just,
He's
the
not
7
talking.
that patrol,
Just the 3
I'd like to
that
at least
are
get them
tied to
55 if
Right.
not
The other
Just
7,
talking
he's
about
just talking to cash them.
Otherwise, they were gonna
But
get,
that,
if you went way
that point
down,
would be is
unless,
that they've
were you
always
planning on
been
giving them a
union.
6%
So they've
as
never
well?
been dealt
Or
with
just
what
the
the
sheriff?
sheriff was getting. That's why the
That's
union
my
wanted
question.
to break themselves up, because they really
Cause if you
got
give the
a
sheriff
bad deal.
6
when they
6,000,
union And back blue, whatever. it was,
All right,
raises,
then-
raises. Remember all that?
his
What
lieutenant,
do they make
2
now?
lieutenants and chief
70?
deputy would get whatever percentage of that, right?
75?
I should have that
You know-
paper. We got that paper that
Do you
Amy
know
gave
what,
us.
the average salary is for the line
Remember
deputy?
that paper Amy gave us?
I could get you that.
I got
Well,
it.
we got it somewhere.
We got it, it should still be in this.
Well,
Hold
I guess
on.
I didn't do an average.
You got their numbers though.
Yeah, I got their numbers.
This could be.
Ballpark.
Why did I do that?
They're at what, 73, 74,000?
That's kind of what I
Yeah,
was thinking.
average.
What's the new, the,
If we would give them that 5,500, they would be right at
Ready to
79 to 80,000.
yeah. Which kinda I won't say.
which would be comparable to Audubon County, pretty close,
Comparable to Carroll and Audubon, I think.
which I think was. Cause the text messages with Audubon County that I was getting from them, go, look at this shit, we're how far behind we are.
Well, even just say 5,000 on 73,000 is a 7% raise.
And I know Rogers sent that text message to all of us.
Oh, average salaries, I did have it, 73,264,
So there you go.
and if we give them that, it'd be 78,703,
Yeah,
average.
on the average.
Average, but that's like Jordan, she's 69, she's the
Yeah.
newest, she'd be up to 75, so. You know,
And them are the ones that are out there facing the most potential hazard. I'm not saying that Roger and the lieutenants and nobody, I'm not saying that theirs is
So then-
minimized, but I'm saying those are the ones that are out patrolling every day.
That would be real simple then. 10 deputies, and even with the 85%. Or the percentage ones, is right about 5, just say easy figure, and 10 times 5,000 apiece is an increase of 50 in that line.
Mhm.
Which I think he increased it by 140 some,
Yeah, 142.
142.
17% increase.
Minus 50,000, is that's what we'd actually budget, you'd reduce his budget by 92,000 right there.
I'm still gonna lobby for another $500 per dude. And I just, the 5,500 is something that I figured up when I
yeah,
was figuring out what the numbers were, the Audubon, like Kyle was.
here's my math on this, and this was just figuring. Kind of a method at this, and this was just figuring what was on paper here was. If we, comm board's recommendations for Roger,
Mhm.
and then there's just the 2 deputies or 2 lieutenants that he has now.
Yeah,
And we take those 85 and 84%, but we, when the comm board's recommendation, but we give him the $6,000 and then. We would save $24,212 off the comm board's recommendations. And you divide that money that we save and give it to the other deputies. Follow me. And then my original presentation about what we settled on. This number down here, I said if we were being fair to everybody, we'd have to split that up. That'd give that same raise, this 2,079. You add that on to what that number we split up of the savings here. It comes up to $5,500.
that's,
It's a lot of weed.
you see.
That's where I came up with my $5,500.
And the neat part is, I was looking at numbers across the state, and then he was doing that, and then he called and says, I got a number for you, it's, we're just right there together. So I said, well, that's gotta be a number. Anyway,
Ultimately too, at the end of the day, we'll go through and jot down what we're gonna knock off his original budget asking.
now,
And he could still go in there and give them a 6 or something different, or 7, I mean,
yeah, but that's why we gotta clean up and
That's
get
what-
his number, his grand number down to a palatable number. And then if he does it a bunch different, that's between him and the him and the voters.
and that's right.
Yeah.
We're doing the best we can. I mean, we can't leave him without money to operate, but if he comes back,
Unless
needs
any
a
of them.
big budget amendment. You know. And I mean, I wanna help him out in his first year, but
I can live with
we
that.
can't mortgage the whole farm on. his
Well, there's
first
some
year.
things too, I mean, I don't know, the padded sorghum, how bad do we need that this year? You know, there's 35,000 there.
Well, you skipped over.
Well, I know, I shouldn't keep getting bumps around. So what do you wanna do for, or do you have
Uniforms?
stuff for us for this time?
No, I went and printed that salary report that Amy did
On the deputies,
on all of the elected
Yeah, I
officials.
the elected.
but I didn't throw it in. I had so much other stuff.
Well, it's their departments, all the.
Yeah, I had it.
departments.
I mean, yeah, I mean, as we go down, I mean, I don't think we can change anything with the gas fuel. He did want to, the uniforms was something else that he wanted. If you remember right.
Yep.
So that's the least costly thing, you know, to give them if we're saying, hey, we're letting you have this, we're not letting you have that.
So do you want, what are we decreasing the deputies by? To get it in line?
I got them going to, what was it, Ty, 845, well.
875.
875.
875, 862. It's the number I jotted down.
From what I said,
875, 862.
Minus, I'm just,
762, 875.
875,
I mean,
862.
that's 87,000 we just took off.
87.
That's
what
what
I'm
I'm on,
running,
you said it.
running total of how much we're taking off, 87,000.
875, 862. That's what it's-
And that was at 5,500.
I just wrote that down. We were talking, so I'd have some.
You know,
And that was figuring 10 though. If
Oh.
we go back in their budget, I thought that they were separated out, Rogers and Mary, where the hell's that? Right here. Oh no, that's just him. Cause I was looking at the office secretaries, cause I wanted to do, I thought it was, you know, we talked about like a 75 cent or, you know, whatever, dollar, whatever. For the, cause you got the jailers too, they're up here, right up here. I don't know how many people are in there at that though. I mean, that one, the jailers were part-timers and full-time. That's the problem, is they're all in one line item. So how do you adjust that? You just give everybody an hourly increase.
Did I ask, are we gonna get any more out of the deputies if we give them $5,000?
Well, Mr. Kuhlman.
I thought the same thing.
I mean, our biggest thing that we hear is that they sit here at so-and-so's house and they sit there and.
Here's
or, you know,
the
they
thing,
Doing whatever.
here's the thing that,
I mean, I'm not
Maybe-
accusing anyone of anything, but
No, no.
are we, what are we gaining for?
You hear it from the people that they're in the cemetery.
you know, I will tell you that I've already caught them out patrolling and sitting out where I've never seen it before.
Huh?
I just, on my way to Carroll yesterday, there was one sitting between Vale and West Side,
Oh, no.
you know.
Maybe new,
watch-
new sheriff, new chief
That's what I
deputy, they changed that whole dynamic, which would be
Kyle
nice.
did a little
You wanna
investigating.
tell them what I did?
Morale's way up right now.
Great.
So it gives Rogers something to build on. You know, hey, look, they gave you a great raise. Let's start to show our value.
There we go.
There's something we're getting at. And then,
I'll
I
get
mean,
told, I was doing investigating, I said, took 16 years to get where you're at. You can't fix it in 6 months.
yeah. Yeah,
So they understand.
I'm just laying out my theory, you know, I mean, and to me, then the next thing you do, you know, if you guys want other nice jumps, we gotta start to see some value. If you wanna go get EMT training, if you wanna go like the dog handler, should we give that guy, can we give a stipend to like a dog handler? I don't know the answer to that question. Maybe these are the things we look at next year. You see what I'm getting at?
Well, if you do the 5,500 you're talking, so Craig figured out reduces that line by 87,000.
I didn't hear you.
And that reduces that line item by 87,000.
Yeah.
And that's all I keep.
And that's if we did it with the number 10 though, right?
Mhm.
And so that. Do we have to, so that he gets 55 to the 7, do we have to adjust that to whatever we do on him for a percentage? Cause you said them other 2 or 3 are gonna be on his percentage, and do we wanna cut theirs first? I mean, does it matter?
But we have to, because they can't be paid over that 85%.
No.
Which is about 5,100.
Yeah.
So it's all right. I mean, roughly,
They'll still be getting a good check. I mean, cause they're
Right,
starting out.
so like,
5,000.
the chief deputy, the current chief deputy, with a $5,100 increase, which is 85%. He'd be 88,385. A line deputy, as you call them, I just picked one off the list. And currently at 73,782.50, adding 5,500 to that salary takes it to 79,282. So about a $9,000 difference. So, I mean, as far as making sure you don't bring them too close together, because what's the point of having a chief deputy and paying them more if everybody else is gonna make what you make
Yeah,
and not have the
well, I have the
responsibility?
responsibility, there
Yes,
you go.
so it still does leave a gap, a good $9,000 gap for the top guy and one of the line guys.
Okay, so
But it
let's,
keeps
And the
pace,
line-
kinda kept pace, though, catches them back up with keeping pace with when them.
Right, and
got
it's still
the
a
big
good-
Raise and they didn't,
Yeah.
it kinda brought them
It
back. up to
differentiates
pace.
their raise from
Right.
the 3 administrators. Yeah, and it's still, it's, yeah.
It brought them back to the pace that they lost out.
Uh-huh.
so if we do that,
That's how I tried to.
I like it.
That's what I wanted to make sure of, is that there was still a gap and not bringing them too
Right.
close together
That was my
because,
fear. right there.
yeah.
So
I
thanks for
just
figuring that
wanted,
out.
yep, I just wanted to double check
So,
that.
yeah,
let's reduce
let's
that
do
by
that.
87,000.
And it reduces it by 87,000.
Correct. All right, life insurance, you
That'll help
can't
that
do
bottom
much,
line.
long-term, you can't, gas, fuel, that probably,
So we're good with the
But
uniform.
you see like that, the one that says transport, sheriff, deputies,
Yep,
you know, historically, it's been funded at 1,000 and nothing
Nothing.
spent. And now they funded at 2,500, you know, what's,
let's not get back
He
down
said he
to-
wants to do more shipping, like up to up.
Cherokee.
There you go, the S Center. More, you know, he wants to do more of the transports, but,
that's.
I mean, Kyle, doesn't the S Center do it themselves right now? Come down and get it?
Yeah, But I don't know if he's,
And would he be
has to have
cheaper?
expense.
yeah, if he's thinking he's gonna save money by
Even if
doing
we
it.
Save money
offset
for the
revenue.
county by doing it.
Mhm.
That's the thing, is that it'd be nice to have that number, because you also lose
You know what I
time where
mean?
there's another
Yeah.
deputy on, patrolling.
We've never done any and
I
now
don't
we're
know if we
gonna,
can do it cheaper than they do it.
In the S Center.
Yeah.
that's just
Yeah,
one of
that's
those
just
things
it,
in
is
the
I don't know.
budget that's there.
Right. That can always get shifted to somewhere else, cause you got
Right.
a spending
You
authority.
guys know
Like I said,
that.
I'm not gonna try to ruin Roger.
I
You
say
know,
we,
he's got his ideas and I expect,
How much will,
appreciate
let's
that.
do
how
1,000.
much will insurances, or not insurances, but IPers and stuff go down on them deputies now, since we took 87,000 out of it? That's something else we gotta figure.
A little bit. Let's just do a little bit.
So transportation, Gene says 1,000,
You know,
Kyle, you say
Where's that, where's that?
Oh,
it's
and
2,500.
under the 15,000.
That
Maybe-
20, you want, how much you wanna do to
Leave it
that?
at 1,000, but you know.
It hasn't been, it's been 1,000 the last 2 years and nothing got spent.
Yeah,
That would knock that back down to 1,500, or I mean, not 1,500
it'd be
off that.
1,500 off. Let's just go back to 1,000.
Yeah, and you know, there'll be other line items, I'm sure, that have a little nudge in it. You know, schools. Seems like, you know,
he wanted to do more of that.
We did,
And you know what? I don't like to discourage education.
all right, leave it,
leave it.
all right,
Man.
0 for labor relations.
Shooting range, $2,000. See, it hasn't really changed much.
To me, it's after the pickups, you know, we've
Oh, no.
got three different furniture type. You know, furniture for deputies, furniture for government traffic, furniture for weapons.
Which is
I
a
know.
pretty good ticket between all three of them.
Right, when they had, nothing's been budgeted in the past, at least on the top two, nothing's been spent, excuse me. But I mean, that's, you know, that's 12,800, that's $23,800, 24 grand.
Seems like a lot,
I don't really like them numbers, not all in one year. I
but why
mean,
was it 67,369, last year? For the actual.
Do you remember why he needed 7,800? What did he, there was something
78,000,
where you
or
said,
no,
67.
67,000.
where you at?
Just drop two below that 7,800, you see 11,000 and right. to
Oh,
the
they
left of
spent
that.
67,000.
What did you spend that on when you only budgeted 4? How does that, how
And
can?
if you did, why do we need to buy more again this year?
You know what? He did a lot of remodeling down there. Did that come out of our capital, or did he pay for it?
Who did remodeling?
Didn't he like take a bunch of wood out of his office and stuff?
Well, he's working on that right now. He's
Working
working
on that.
drywall.
Oh, so we haven't even got a bill for that.
Unless that's in this year's.
No, he's paying for that because you didn't approve that.
Yeah.
What it looked like to me, it might be coming right out of this year's budget, but I don't know.
He doesn't have extra money to do that.
Well, he's got 67,360.
And I don't think he realizes it, cause auto is already over budgeted by $69,000.
I wrote
That
down,
weapons line is 63,000 over budget.
I wrote, he wants to switch to 9mm handguns, deputies pay
Right.
for weapons.
Yeah. But they'll just reimburse us. They won't
Right,
pay the bill. The county will pay the bill.
so you'll still need it budgeted so he can spend it and get
And then gets
reimbursed.
it back.
But,
Like Gene pointed out earlier, that doesn't mean you can't move that around later.
We found out the hard way.
I don't know, between those three, two, if you knock it in half,
I'm in favor of
you know,
that.
if it's 20, what'd you say, 23 total, roughly?
23.8, so 24,000.
Or knock it to 12, knock 12 off the combination of those three furniture line items.
So shooting range maintenance, we're leaving that at 2, cause that's what it was, but he only spent 206, but he might have more spring cleanup. The autos, he's getting 2, and he said they were 70, so that 141's pretty
Yeah.
close. What happens with the old pickups that he trades in? What comes, does that,
It comes off the bill.
For the new one.
so let's just say he gets
I think this was including
30,000 back on the
20
trade-in.
grand to put all the equipment in.
Yeah. But let's say he gets 30,000 back on a
Oh,
trade-in,
I thought that was somewhere else.
that'd be
I think
I
60.
think that's somewhere else.
Is it?
49,000
I'm not sure.
down here for 3-car radios at 5,800, is that what you're
Mhm.
talking about? At 49,000?
Now, the radio, that's the equipment, that didn't count like the lights and on the roof and that box that's down there on the floor that controls them and.
Between the 5 to 7,800 and 11,000.
Them lights
I
on
jotted
that
down minus 12, take 12 off all
I
those.
remember when we bought them for that fire truck
Make
at
it
Charter
total
Oaks back when I was on.
Yeah,
Never
they're
mind.
about 24,
Yeah.
make them total 12.
Or they seen
He
that
can put
line
them wherever he
item,
wants.
we didn't buy them separate, but
But between the three line items for furniture.
5,078 and 11,
Is about 24,000. Craig and I said, knock that down to an even 12.
okay? So give him 25 and cut the 78, cut them all in half, is that what you're thinking?
Yeah,
Cut them all,
Roughly.
we can, if he wants to leave them, I guess, in that line item, that's the best way to do it, is just to cut them all in half.
You should have my phone. What a date with your phone at.
3,900 for, divide 7,800 in half, I guess.
3,900, yep, you're right.
And then 5,500 on that bottom one.
Then. Only card operator, that's right in there. So much stuff, 3-car radio is 49,000. He hasn't spent anything the last 2 years on that.
And which now?
Which one did he say he had to get some new computers? Which
That's
line
the
item?
next page.
Okay,
Next page, that's not the 19,000? Those car computers?
The 40,
calling card, an operator, that usually comes up to pretty close to what he's got, so.
So the equipment. New radio. That's for the office?
I have 3.
That 49 was for
Three
squad
car-
cameras.
I have 3-car radios at
Cameras and cars.
$5,800.
Oh, cameras, that's what it was,
Cameras.
it's cameras in the cars.
Yeah, I got it, it's the Axon squad cameras,
5-year contract.
that's what that was for.
So do we wanna do 3
MDT
cars, or do we say, let's just do 1 and see if we like it? Or,
Well, it's paying for a damn, what do you call it? Oh,
okay,
it's Jake always.
Can you say that, or not a subscription? but-
There you go, subscription, that
oh,
pays for the subscription, and then the cameras get replaced every 5
Yeah.
years.
244 per
upfront.
device.
There you go.
what'd you say, Gene?
$244 per device.
And then after 5 years, they automatically give you a new camera.
5-year
It takes you more
contract.
upfront.
MDT.
And then, so that's what all that
has,
was, that 49,000 was for the
So
whole.
that'll be ongoing
The
then,
subscription.
every year.
Yeah,
Yep.
pretty much.
Per device.
That's a new budget line item that's,
That's 50 grand.
yeah.
That's every year?
Oh,
Well,
I don't know, I can't remember if he said that after the first year it would go down some, you know, like just the subscription, but if you're getting new cameras automatically at 5 years, they're figuring
I
that
didn't-
deal.
What
I
don't
don't remember it being every
MDT
year.
stand for? Why'd I write that down? MDTs, as of October.
I don't know.
Got the Axon 5-year contract, 244 per device, 3 car, I wrote radios at
I
5,800.
I thought that was the initial investment, and then after that.
I don't remember.
Well, we'll
I
have a
don't-
chance to get re-explained on all of that.
So
The- Gosh,
That's a lot of new money.
for all 1
That's,
year.
it is a lot of new.
I mean, he was gonna be way over just his budget on what is new tax dollars available this year.
Yeah,
And his budget last year to this year is 31% increase.
Yeah, that's just, again, that.
Well,
Big number.
So
you
we,
knock it, and you want, knock it in half to 25.
I mean, is that, if we go with the program, that's what it's gonna cost? Can you not knock it down? I do that,
Maybe you
know?
can.
I don't know.
So what is the next line? Does anybody remember? Cause it's got
19.
equipment, car,
Right.
computer. What's that one then?
I think that was the actual computer in the car, not the camera.
Yeah, new car, new little laptop you got, right?
So is that just one, or are we
You're
doing
getting 2 new cars.
multiple
You get two
cars?
new-
I think it
So-
matches up with the 3-car
I think
radio.
it does too.
Cause I have in both lines, 3-car radios and computers, cameras.
So does that include the 2 new cars? In his, or what?
I don't know.
Yeah, cause I don't know if he got a new pickup, but he's got a Tahoe, doesn't he? He probably didn't get a new one, but
Who?
Roger,
Oh, I got brand new.
yeah.
oh, he did.
Hey,
So
Paul,
when Jim traded his pickup in.
You got
Oh,
good,
that's
good, we're
right.
still up here in the boardroom.
That came out of last year's budget.
No.
Yeah, this year's.
This year's.
This year's.
No,
Or
no, no, we
25.
ran across the street,
You
grab a
remember
quick bite.
when we start getting.
We're still going for the
We won't
bites.
get one
Okay, what time you taking off?
next, a year from now, right?
3:30, okay.
Well, we put them in October, right? 24.
Can't get one this,
I think we would get one this fall, right?
this fall,
Sounds good.
so we'll make it in this
Bye.
coming budget.
Okay, so you could call that, I'd say, to make sure, is it on the papers that we signed? States when this payment should start, or not?
I would assume, yeah, you're right. So that number's
Let's-
like larger than that.
Asterisk those.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, we got to do that. Those two. That's just a large jump this year with all the other stuff.
Here's another radio and related equipment. It's like
Another 17.
2,500, radio equipment maintenance,
We'll make it.
contract LAC
Yeah,
1750.
more.
Right, and
Yeah.
it's been 13, so it makes you wonder if it's the contract, you know what I mean? I don't know.
The tech service would probably be,
Brad.
Rod.
Yep.
And then underneath that is where I put in the new computers. I crossed out that miscellaneous and wrote in new computers for 15,000 is what he wanted.
Where's that? Which
I
line
did
is
not
that?
do that.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Is underneath Equip Tech Service, there's a
Yeah.
little thing that says miscellaneous.
Yep.
And I drew a line through there and wrote new computers and put 15,000
That's where,
added to the budget.
It's not like me to not have written that in there. Usually done.
Cause Roger was like, I wanted to do that, but I didn't put it in the budget.
Must have fallen asleep.
oh, so he didn't get it in, but he wants to. So then what the hell is all of this back here? Car computer.
Well, we need to move on here to the jailers' salaries up 15%.
That's insane.
I highlighted that. 3 full-time, 15% raise.
Well, I'm not ready to leave these radio equipment
All right,
up
well,
here at the 17.5 if we're buying radios.
I mean, I don't know what that CONT, I think Dave just said contract, and that kind of makes sense that it would be contract.
We're at,
Radio equipment,
Radio
maintenance,
equipment,
contract with the LAC.
oh,
Is it, you've got the
law enforcement center, is that
And then you got
radio
the
equipment in the
cars.
comm center?
Then you got the cars and.
No, that all comes under 911 and the, what's our board called? Comp,
But you know, he's budgeted, like 2 years ago, it was 13,000, they spent 14,700. Then he budgeted 13 again, and now we've already spent 11,100. So I can see why he went up.
but that's a contract, so you're right.
I'm writing that, but I'm putting a question mark behind it. And I wrote it with pencil.
Shrewd businesswoman.
I got my pencil out because there seems to be a lot of erasing. And I seem to have a lot of question marks, so.
But we had 15 and, yeah, 13, so I can see why he went to 15 there. And 17.5. God, I wish I knew what all these things were for. All right, so now you're down to your jailers, Dean.
There, he's got them up
4%
15%.
So
That's at 58,000 to 66,876 is a 15% increase.
So if you had 23, I said if you.
I don't even know how many are in there.
He's got 3 full-time and the rest, I don't know how many that is, just the rest I got is part-time.
You know, that puts you at 60,000, 500, 300, whatever. You could easily drop 6,000 off of that.
Which one are you talking
The
about?
jailers, I'm saying you could drop 6,000 off the jailers and it'd be close to 4.5% still.
So is that just one person?
The admin,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
regular salary,
Janet.
admin, jail, that's
Janet Hazy.
Janet Hayes. So the rest, all the rest are underneath her?
Mhm. So on Janet's, I'm just saying, if you drop $6,000 off that, that's gonna get you
To 60,876,
rough.
that's still,
You'll look pretty good. You must want to do more.
that's still
Almost
a, what,
5%.
almost 5% increase?
I have to have somebody tell me why all of these are going up more than
Right,
everybody
right.
else's.
So, but 3% is 2,300, so 58,000 plus. I
Yeah,
don't
it's
know, that's
60,
not even that,
57,997, your current salary, ain't it?
58,000.
58,000.
1740, it's 3%.
Plus 59,740. Then you could take $7,000 off there,
I agree,
minus 7.
I agree.
Okay,
The next one, and be simple on that one, just take 28. 287,750 times 3%.
He's
387.
budgeting less total dollars last year to this year.
Or wait a minute, there's
He
a,
bumped it
I
up to
got a
300.
300 road in here.
Yeah, I did too. He bumped it up to 300 because he
Yeah,
said that was wrong and I jotted 300 in there.
Okay, I did not.
yeah, cause I got the 280 lined and
I crossed it out.
Must have
300.
jammed when I should have been jotting.
But 3% takes it to 296. Right? Or did I fat finger something?
296 or 82. Yeah. Unless you wanna,
Is that where, but he said something about that's where Amy's salary was coming from.
He wasn't real sure where.
And he added Amy's down below, but this one didn't go down by 50,000. You know what I'm saying? Vern?
Yeah, it was right underneath him.
He added Amy into that line, but Amy didn't appear to go off of any line.
Cause where's Susie at? Is she in then?
Who's that admin right below Jim's? Well, she's in that line too,
So Susie and
Amy.
Amy would be together
Yeah,
there.
Susie's currently 58,110. Where's Susie different? I don't know. That was probably some rounding magic. 58,080. is.
Is that 49,903?
They're coupled together.
58,080.
That's a total of, what, 107,983?
Put names on these papers. Something. Not everybody counted.
But you know, that's what I hate about like. This is something the state doesn't think about, like him having the budget for medical supplies and stuff. I mean, look what we went to this year, $50,000 or $20,000, I'm sorry. And clear back at 23, 24, hell, they had to use 51,000. I mean, you talk about screwing up with a budget and adding the property tax. I mean, he's got no choice but to jack that up to something. Because you don't know, but then get close to the end of something and, you know.
I mean, if those two together, Susie and Amy, and you read off the totals, to me, that total is 107,983. And he's got in there, you know, from this past year, 99,583 as a number. And if you do a
That's the
3%,
sheriff's salary.
The 99.
I'm sorry, you're right. He's got the 58,11, 58,110,
Yeah.
but he's only spent 33,411, so he's not,
That's halfway through.
Some screw.
It's a little over halfway, but
Yeah, but
2040 is the number of hours in a year, right? 2080.
I mean, to me, that regular salary administrative secretaries for the 24-25 budget
that's
should have
just
been,
Susie's.
so where's Amy in that number?
In
Where'd
the
she
new
at?
year, in fiscal year 26, I think they're both in
They're
there.
both in there.
But that's given them both, I think, 13% raises.
Right, if they just got a 3% raise, that number instead of
Would be like-
124,515 should be 111,222.
Yep. Exactly,
So the
Okay.
124 minus 111.
exactly.
No, the 124,515
take-
number
13,000 off that
should be
line.
111,222.
11222.
Right,
So this is
so
13,000.
that's 13,000.
I'm just jotting down to 13,000. The budget for.
What's the regular office salary above it for?
That's the sheriff.
that's right.
That's the.
Oh, that's
Which we
right.
have to
That's
drop
right.
down to 105 to do our
Right,
6,000.
Yeah,
105?
yep, 105,583, I think is what it was.
583.
Oh, my fat.
Oops, I did it. the
Oh, on this
other way.
paper, it's, oh,
Yeah, it's different.
yeah,
I
okay.
have no idea why.
All right, I was just going off this paper, sorry.
Yeah.
That's the $7,400 decrease.
Yep, I got that.
7,400 for
7 for
Roger.
sheriff, 13 for salaries, Amy and Susie.
Well, I, somewhere I had figured it would save us about $190,000 with
In
just cut
salaries,
What did he,
salaries. And that's not counting
I believe,
five
like
guys.
diapers and all that, right?
right,
That's just the salary.
right. That, you'll get
Could be one
another
over.
50,000 decrease probably on those, just not
Rough.
even.
So I mean, that's pulling a big number.
Yeah, but it needs to, it went up 600,000.
Well, no, I mean, yeah, this is like,
The-
just by decreasing,
I mean, I
those
get
are-
it, you wanna make improvements, you wanna do all the things, I get it,
Oh,
but
we
it
all
takes
do.
planning to do that.
Yeah, you gotta have, he's gonna have to sit down and create a 5-year plan like
Exactly,
like
that's what I,
public health.
Like Paul does.
All of our big budget people
Right.
have to have a 5-year plan. We just gotta lay that out.
yeah.
What's the photograph supply?
And get your things fit in where
You know,
you
Gene and I talked about that on the phone about, that's what I thought we would see is that I've been the deputy for all these years. Here's things that I think have been overlooked and haven't been kept up like they need to be. And here's my plan.
Yep.
5 years, whatever he's saying, to get everything back in order the way it needs to be, but it wasn't that structured, it's just like, I need all this.
Yeah.
Big number,
Yep. Yeah, we can't,
and
we
the
just can't.
taxpayers can't,
I mean, we still got the rest of the court system to take care of, and there wouldn't be anything for them. They'd have to all cut so he could add. I mean, just, it's impossible.
right,
Well, let's keep moving down.
so I'd say that you're back to the office, or what was he gonna do with the photograph? Why was that up at $5,000? What the heck is that? The
I don't
photograph,
remember, I did not.
ammunition, I know he said he was gonna buy
Do
more
more training.
ammunition,
Gonna do more training.
right,
And if they got new
And that's-
weapons, they'll probably need to do more.
right, I mean, 9mm are cheaper, so he can buy more.
Was the photograph for investigation stuff that you wanted?
Oh, that's
Camera,
right, that's right,
camera.
yep, you wanted one good camera instead of them using
Oh,
their,
yeah, yep,
their
yep, yep.
phone,
That's exactly right.
Okay,
that's right.
Takes a village to.
keep going down then.
Remember.
Transportation admin,
I'd say the big one is the telephone,
telephone,
They wanted
yeah.
to go to cell
I
phones.
must have become overwhelmed.
not them using their own cell phones,
I can't
I can't argue with
I
that,
can't either.
No, especially when they can be subpoenaed,
right,
That
That's
was
it, and that's what he
exactly
brought
what
up.
that was. yeah.
Schools
yeah,
mileage
that's the same
admin,
thing Zach went to with his.
that's deputies.
So we're leaving ammo alone.
They wanna start shooting more often.
Yeah,
So they're going to 9mm?
and I'm okay with training.
Yeah,
What are you gonna do with the?
They buy,
they're owned by the deputies, they'll just take them
They'll
home,
own their
they
own.
buy them
pistol.
back.
they're gonna buy the
Buy 'em
9mm
from us.
still.
So you have to have spending authority so they can buy them, then they buy them back from. I had crossed out
I had a 9mm.
the
No,
5,000
Okay.
They've got
Yeah.
several sizes.
5,000 for what?
in insurance, car and equipment. It was zeros.
Yeah.
And I have that crossed out.
At 5,000, I got
Yeah.
it circled. For, yeah, cause I'm like, for what?
So I'm gonna jot that down.
Because the
it's
line
gonna come
below,
up.
down in supplemental, went up 10,000, the same identical line.
Which one?
Car,
Insurance.
insurance, car and equipment
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
/ deputies, or
Yeah, that one went up.
That
That's
went
gotta
up
come off our
10,
bottom
so-
line. Here's another though, equipment, furniture, et cetera, admin, 15 grand. He spent 17 2 years ago.
Well, I'm thinking some of
They
these,
got new chairs or something, he
For
said.
people that are on the road all the
Didn't
time.
he say they wanted new chairs, or I can't
Yeah, he did
remember.
want
That wasn't part of, what was it?
Or the people sitting that
For
they're interviewing.
investigating, or the interrogation room.
Right,
How many chairs we getting?
I mean,
and
interrogation.
we've got all those other furniture that we
It's
can't
gonna be
have.
electrified
So-
if they don't give the right answer, he's gonna zap them.
So do we leave that then? I mean, or,
cross that 5 out, what the hell?
Sorry, that's me
I'm
chiming.
not sure. Insurance, car and equipment. What was that one for again? Cause
I
it's,
have it crossed out. I think for some reason, it's under supplemental. He moved it to sup.
okay, so take it off. So that's a minus 5,000 there.
I'd almost take 5 off. There's equipment, furniture, et cetera, admin.
What's that
That 15?
ETCs mean, just, does it mean et cetera, or? does it-
Yeah.
Et cetera,
Et cetera.
admin. Take, you wanna knock that down to 10, Dave?
Yep.
I'm okay with that. Gene, any argument?
no.
So what's the big number now,
You still with us?
Yes,
when you get to
She's
general
thinking, I
basic?
can smell
How
it.
much can we take
yeah.
off?
it's,
So-
What do your totals come up to?
Here's where I'm at. And can we take it off, Terry?
thought we might make it
Just
enough.
like we can reduce general basic and I have to. You can't move it around. I mean, that's what comes
Right,
off.
you really can't tell him what line items to
Right, right.
reduce.
But-
You
but-
can give him a total amount to
For
reduce
that
general basic. And then supplemental.
And granted, that's just doing that, still. It's FICA in there, so I guess that's something related.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, those will be big reductions. But you got,
On FICA and stuff?
Yeah, okay,
Well, IFRS, you know.
Can we have-
105.
that's all.
yeah,
Very much.
I thought it'd be more. This one, we did 87 right off the bat.
I
I
know.
took off 137,
37,900.
Which one you on?
That was all the general basics that we went through,
Okay.
down to. Down to here.
What was that number?
137,900.
That's it?
That's it.
That's it?
I know, that's not very much.
Did we take the padded cell off? No,
Nope, we didn't take the padded cell,
Where was it?
35,000.
we passed, well, and then
How did I
all,
miss that?
Guys passed a lot of stuff.
Where's it?
Did we
Oh,
just
right
skip a
there.
page?
I think we missed a whole page, didn't we?
So the,
So the question that I had last time was, you know, we're gonna have the deputies, the reason we're getting the big raise is because they were gonna start to cook. But then we're gonna need a refrigerator and a stove and
jailers were gonna cook.
jailers, yeah.
Sorry.
which we did knock their salaries back down to 3%.
But we also kept the food exactly the same place
Right.
as if they were getting delivered, so we can't.
But we didn't give them the pay increase we wanted for them to do it either. You know,
I figured.
I don't think they're gonna
Maybe we don't do it this year.
198,000 and the new ones
Let's
are
see how it goes and
68,000.
maybe,
Right.
do it next year.
Or couldn't that be a capital improvement?
Well,
Buying the
the
furniture.
wages were 15% because he was gonna give them more responsibilities.
but we knocked that back down to 3, so I would take the padded room.
Where's it at?
That
I'm sorry.
35,000,
Yeah, 35,000. It's on the second
what are you
page.
taking it to?
0. Do we need
It was
it?
right 4 above his salary.
Four above
Well,
his.
it's been budgeted and
See where I got padded salary.
spent prior to that.
Oh, yep, I got it. So we're gonna take that to 0.
I mean, if we're trying to get down to not have 600,000 tax asking.
I mean, our first round of cuts, it's still a 22% increase, year to year, budget increase.
I just
So we
wanted
went
to
from
cut
31 to
300,000.
22.
However you want to do it.
Nice. Oh my gosh.
But that's right now, that's not any savings on all the the
Yeah,
FICA and all
And that's
that,
in
but that's in
supplemental.
supplemental.
So if you had the padded room, it gets us up to 172,900.
Don't know.
So I think the argument on on the padded cell is, I think I can see the need for it,
I do.
but when we have all these other improvements or things we're trying to do, we just have to prioritize.
Put them in a helmet and put mittens on their hands.
I like the helmet.
Get them a football helmet and some mittens. Big leather mittens.
But if we haven't had one since the beginning of the jail, I can probably get by another year without one. Yeah, I would guess.
Well, you know what? These are the kind of things you'd like to see. All right. Next year, we're gonna put 10 in this year, we'll put in 10 next
Right.
year, we'll put in 10. But not on a year where you're already got a bunch. So like next year you start putting in, even if it's 5. 5. Okay, it's gonna take us 5 years to get there, but we can get there.
But you'd have to have, you can't budget it. It doesn't like, that's something you could use any place you
Well,
want.
if it is a
I don't know if
capital
it's there
improvement,
or
then I have
not.
no problem.
We did that for the towers
But
over
anyways,
in EMA.
Yeah,
so that's why I zeroed it out.
They were doing that, saving up money. Then it's in a reserve and
At
then,
least gets us to
then
172,900.
1 year you put in all of it. and it
Yeah.
starts in
Drop
there
in FICA
for-
and IPERS
would you
and
have
all
to
that
set
other
up a
stuff
capital
down.
improvement account? Because that,
I don't know, that's a Terry question.
I would think that that would be the way to do it, because if it's hanging out there,
What's the Terry question?
they're all Terry questions.
No, if we wanted to set aside put money in every year in the budget. Just to create this padded cell, like just use just use $10,000 every year until he gets to the number he needs. Do you put that into account so it don't go back into general? How do you do that?
There, on the budget forms for the state, there's some lines for, reserves or, so it would still stay in the,
20.5% increase.
probably stay in the general fund, but it'd
22,
be,
20.5.
be targeted,
A target.
yeah,
I think I
for
remember
a
reading.
project or something. There's
$5,000
5 or 6 lines at the bottom of
Okay.
one of the pages, at least one of the pages that
I can't remember.
talks about that, and I think you could use it for that.
Okay. And then 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 you can start to build for it, or you
Right.
don't have a $35,000 jump for one jail cell. You know,
All right, so we've addressed that. 15,000, for the admin furniture, did we take that out? I have a square around it, but I didn't, what did we
Reduced
take?
it by 5.
So you're just gonna leave 10 in there?
yeah,
Mhm.
Okay, got behind for a minute, because I was so deep in thought.
and we just took out the insurance card equipment, that was he's got that in sup. And what do? And we don't know how much IPers and FICA went down?
No, I don't have my,
Is there a general rule that you
I don't have
use?
my
or-
form. We have a percentage, so you take the wages budgeted times that percentage. And that gives you that. I could go get it.
Health insurance would remain the same though, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but does it need to be 20,000 for car insurance?
See, and then there's where it says insurance, car and equipment and deputies,
Yep.
and that's a $20,000 number now.
Yep,
And that,
well, I don't understand, it was 5 and then spent 16,6.
then you went to 10.
10, spent 0, now we want 20. Does anybody?
See,
have
and
a vote on that one?
here's the only issue that I keep looking at, whenever we say, okay, this is what they spent. We know they have the ability to move it around, so how do we know this is not a move around number?
You don't,
Well, I think some of them might.
Yeah, that's my point, so
I
it's
think
hard
some
for
of
us
them
to
might.
gauge, do you really need that much in that line?
I would think that that'd be easy to track back and see what we took out of the insurance, car and equipment deputies for $16,610.
It's just $140,000.
Michelle would probably have that down, and,
Savings and just sell
Probably.
it.
Yeah.
I'd like, it could just be coded wrong,
yeah,
If you take his salaries,
but
What
then why
they
would
are
it need to be
proposing
20,000?
I'd propose. You come up with $145,000 savings.
Let's take that 20 out of that, insurance, car and the deputies, don't you think?
140 was our total number, Cal.
What?
On the-
Well, I don't know.
87,000.
What you guys subtracted out of there is just
172,900.
172,900. So maybe the bulk of that is better before you put the $35,000 out, right?
No, that's his total 172,900?
179, that's with
That
35.
includes that 35,000, so.
That's taking that out.
I hope he catches on to this budget stuff quick, 'cause that's a lot of marks.
Yeah. Oh, he's a.
He's a sharp guy, he'll be
This
fine.
was the first go round.
I wouldn't wanna think about like our, so
Well,
like unemployment, will that go down too then, or not? Cause it's kind of based on their salary, isn't it?
I know, but it caps out at 39,500.
Okay,
So their salaries didn't go below 39,500, so
yeah, good point.
it should, if you figured it right,
Cause you got
it should be
FICA
unaffected.
for the jail, IPers for the jail.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a lot here and stuff.
looks like he didn't figure FICA right, and so it's about right the way it's figured.
do you think, IPers is right and health insurance for deputies at 208,000?
I don't know, not knowing how many single plans and how many family plans, I can't tell that.
I think they got a fair amount of family.
That's a good point.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Amy, no. All right.
Because last year, the budget 147 and already.
You know, but our costs are going up costs went up a lot on insurance.
I thought we said we were gonna be okay and everything's going great.
I know, but that we would have to levy for it.
It has to still have to come out of something now because we don't have a cell phone.
But I thought that you said our insurance wasn't going up a whole lot.
Our rate's not going up, but we partially funded out of our self-funding fund instead of levying for all of it.
Okay.
But our fund is depleting, so, I mean, we can keep depleting it. But eventually it's gonna be nothing, and eventually you're gonna have to levy all of it.
We don't want to do
I didn't think you did, but.
that. Keep going.
Surely not.
So what's our option? I mean, if we're spending it down, the only way you can fill it up is to levy,
Levy.
you levy.
Cause currently we aren't holding our fund, they are holding a fund for us. So we don't wanna fund our fund and fund their fund. That's double,
Right, it's going to the
Double
EBS.
that'd be bad.
EBS is taking care of it
Yeah.
for us.
Yeah,
Double
they're
funding.
double funding,
Knowing
bad,
how much we don't
bad,
like to fund.
bad Craig.
So, I know this is a moot thing maybe, but I've moved on down here to the insurance part and deputies. I think it seems peculiar that we budgeted 5,000, spent 16,006, then we budgeted 10, did 0, and now we're budgeting 20. I can't get the reason on that. What
I
exactly
mean,
is
they
it?
might have only spent 0 because they haven't spent it yet. Maybe the
Right.
premiums, aren't due till
Insurance
March
comes
or
out of the,
something.
in June.
Could be, but, so we just
I thought it
really
was-
budgeted badly back in 23, 24, thinking it was only gonna be
Right.
5,000.
And then to think that 10 was gonna cover
Right,
it,
10 was
yeah,
gonna
that
cover
was,
it,
that's
but it's
again gonna be
16.
bad.
Two double bads makes it awful.
Well, they've got padding.
So,
Okay, okay,
who's got Patty?
You cover that 16 versus 10.
I can't just put that in a jail cell.
Hear what you said?
There you
Yeah.
go.
Put this padding in there.
Smarty pants over there.
You know, guys, and I just thought, of
There.
You
maybe
guys
this
can't
is
keep me
not,
past noon, cause I
maybe
don't,
some of this
No, I
looks
don't do
bad,
good.
because maybe some of this was misplanned.
I know, I,
Bad planning.
Never got it done.
I'm feeling the pain on that, I
No.
am. Um,
Like this, maybe this is a prime example of like, it should have been 20,000 2 years ago.
Yeah. So now it looks like Roger's having a big jump when in fact he's just trying to make up for what wasn't done right. I don't
I
know.
don't know.
We don't know,
Yeah, that's exactly right.
but
I mean, on these costs that come from outside, when we're buying new furniture, that's us. That's new,
That's us, yeah.
that's new plan.
Yeah,
doesn't do us any good to even worry about the papers and all that. 'cause-
No, because they'll be knocked down according to salaries
Right,
regardless.
So we don't,
yeah.
we can skip. on.
No, but Terry is figuring
Yeah,
that
she
up for
figured
us,
that
so we
out.
know how much we're saving and then to add to the. We're trying to get that way down off a 31% increase there.
Right.
We're currently at 20.5.
Running
Still a fly. I mean, with giving them deputies a good bump, I mean, we're gonna be,
Well, we knew that, we were gonna have to do that.
I'm gonna have to refigure that again, because I'm not for sure either.
I mean, we got a $3 million sheriff's department.
Yeah. Yep.
With 10 guys. I know we got a jail,
Jail.
jailers and
And jail, yeah.
administrators and other things, but
that jail's never gonna be,
Like
oh,
owning,
it's gonna be a moneymaker.
it's like owning a swimming pool.
you know, and I think that we need to really
Not near as
evaluate
much fun.
with, in a meeting with Roger and Colin about using, the
I mean,
ankle
Roger mentioned there
bracelets.
were things that he thought he could do.
Like the ankle
It
bracelets,
increases
the more he, after he said that, I thought about that, you know, we've probably got guys locked in there that aren't gonna run. And aren't. I mean, they're in jail for a reason, but aren't immediate hazards
Concerns to the
community.
public.
Yeah,
Right.
before we gotta worry about public safety. That we're spending food, medical, there's a lot of expense, I mean, I guarantee you. That if we would have been looking at something like that, some of these things that Jim would get all frustrated with. Probably, I mean, some are gonna exist, cause you're gonna have some bad eggs that you can't put back on the street with a bracelet, they'll have that cut off before they get out of the back of your car, you know? But I think that, them are things that I really do think we gotta look at. I mean, think about what Jim's big complaints were about having to feed medical and hospitalization. He says, and never really anybody come right out and said it, but you gotta wonder how many of them get arrested so that they can go get their kidneys operated on. I'm just making something up, but you know what I'm getting at. Don't have anything and I need a gallbladder taken out, blah, blah, blah. You don't know. And until we can get the Medicaid to continue through internment. It's gonna be a county expense. Or not.
Yep.
And I really didn't get the vibe on last Thursday that they're in a rush to make sure Medicaid pays for that. Did you, Dave?
No, I don't think so at all.
They've addressed it.
I addressed things too that I ain't done yet.
It's about 25,500. I thought it'd be more,
Lower
yeah,
Off of
in the
stuff.
supplemental,
office up.
yeah. I don't know that there's much else you can reduce. Insurance, he's probably not far off the mark with that $20,000, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Hate to say that, but it's probably true.
So Ike and Vipers both, we only lost about 25K,
Yeah, combined,
25.
25,500.
That should be for me, and I can't find the numbers.
No, some of them I don't,
What dog would we be euthanizing?
city dogs in the county.
Oh, gotcha, gotcha.
Yeah.
Never even thought about anything outside of the department, sorry. Flex benefit plan, Department 5.
Isn't that just one shell?
You bet.
Somebody will be listening to you.
Well, they are, we're recording.
Well. What else do we wanna do there? Anything, I mean, it's.
Well, the thing is, if you start cutting cars out, that's 140,000, I mean. And then you know what'll happen, you get,
How many cars are bad or?
Do you have to do 2 a year?
Right, that's kind
you knock one out,
of 10.
But at the end of the day, we
No.
went through and did all of this.
I mean, that's
The
kind of
bottom
bad
line is
thing.
where it has to be, and then
he can still do what he wants.
you're exactly right. Wages could stay the same, and just these other small things, you know.
Yeah, even though what we pay some for wages, he can come back and say, I'm gonna leave them right where they're at, and I'm gonna knock 2 cars out.
Correct.
Correct.
But just crappy.
I just missed what you were saying. I was reading a text that makes zero sense to me.
Oh, just,
Did I send it?
No.
we could pencil in what we think the wages should be for that, and
Right,
he could come back and say, okay, well, I don't need 2 cars this year, I'm gonna take that 140,000, leave them right where I'm at.
after we've approved and certified the budget,
Correct.
yeah, then he could do that.
Isn't there a rule about elected officials moving
No,
line items,
He wouldn't,
salary?
he wouldn't move it.
He has blanket
long as-
authority on whatever big number we give him for his
I thought there
budget.
was something
The
where elected
assessor does,
officials.
the assessor
he couldn't,
can't move anything to better him or the deputy's wages, he can't take anything.
But that's just that
That's the
department.
assessor. Or what I've noticed, that's in code.
he couldn't change what we vote on for cop board salary, that would have to be
Right,
that,
right.
but no, any.
You're not actually voting until we hold our budget meeting
Right,
in April.
Sorry about that.
Mhm. Yeah.
I think the majority of counties actually.
I didn't mean to stumble across that, honestly.
Kyle, though, I think most, every county does it the way we used to do it. I mean, I talked to a
I
number of
know.
them and they're all like, oh yeah, we already voted on it.
Yeah,
I didn't,
I
I
don't think-
honest to God didn't mean to stumble across that.
That's what you get for,
But I see the
Right under the
intent,
law.
I see the intent, so it has to be forwarded in a public meeting when you certify, just seems backwards for budget.
I thought
Uh-huh.
I thought it made sense to have a public meeting, was what, but when Ted brought it to it the first time. Well, that wouldn't make sense to have a public meeting at that point.
Yeah. Probably should have maybe.
And then when Colin read it, says it gotta be at that, I'm like,
For
well,
the
that's
first time we met,
Dave,
yeah, I think we have it.
I have,
okay, because, yeah, when we do have our public hearing.
we're still here.
Present that in that meeting.
Hmm.
Hi, Dave.
You guys in the middle of something yet, or
Oh,
Oh,
yes
just
and no,
budgeting,
yes and no.
our favorite thing.
can I bend some ears for just a little bit?
Yeah.
Sure, that'll be a nice break.
Okay. Wait a second.
City center.
We get the generator hooked up.
You have to have the natural gas, which
Yeah.
we'll call Totten to do.
Yep. And we were over there this morning, and the guy from Black Hills came up. One of their techs came up to help us try and figure some stuff out. If we hook up the generator to the natural gas that's coming in right now, stuff has to be changed on the meter. There has to be regulators put on because the generator needs more pressure than what is coming into our building right now.
Who can
So
do
we need to
that?
we need to put regulators on the furnaces and pipe the gas through the building, out the building, and then over to the generator. Second option.
I'd hook Terry Boat and just run the gas from his house to the generator. Just take Terry Boat's gas. You know,
Who's that? Next
the
door?
neighbor.
The neighbor,
Neighbor.
Is he? Okay. I
he
didn't know who
notices.
lived there. Second choice, and the safest choice would be to run a new meter. The propane runs through the alley north and south behind the post office.
Okay.
If we put in a new meter, they run a pipe through it, we can have that be designated with a higher pressure that we need for the generator.
Now we're gonna do propane?
Or not propane, sorry, natural gas,
Oh, okay.
natural gas.
I was
Sorry,
confused for a second.
Sorry.
Which is the cheapest and which is the
Well, the
recommended?
safest is that way, because then we're not running any piping through.
So a singular
Across the
line,
building.
that's for the
no
generator,
regulators, not going through the
The only
building.
regulator would be the meter
generator,
itself.
or-
There's a regulator built into the generator.
Okay,
do that.
But
can't do that till, well,
with that one, the tech said anything over 100 feet, he thinks that there's a charge. So whether or not the first 100 feet is free and we just pay the charge for the last 10 foot or whatever we need, I gotta go over there with
What would the charge
measuring
be?
deal and see how many feet it is to the
Little
center of
wheelie
the
wheel.
alley.
How much?
One of the wheels.
How much?
How much?
You didn't
I have
know.
no idea, I have not called, I have not had a chance to call Black Hills yet to find out what we're looking at. I was gonna measure
It already
first. so I
sounds
could-
cheaper than the other way.
Adding a bunch of regulators and.
That did
Yeah,
not
That
sound
didn't
cheap.
sound cheap.
Well,
know, I
there's more
know.
stuff, and there's more stuff to.
I'd
Yeah.
rather still
Screw up on
cheaper
Or
to go
say,
that
yeah,
route.
from-
And
Extra
if something
parts and
goes
pieces.
wrong, which one of
Yeah,
them things
well,
goes
plus
wrong?
the extra piping all the way across the building
Definitely
for
going with option
what
B.
the, yeah.
Help for doing
Yes.
that.
So, but I will get it measured.
This is the gift that just
This
keeps on
is
giving.
give it and give.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I will have more information after I.
Well, the state will
Okay,
enjoy
so-
the building that we've built for them.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Stop
It's too
laughing.
funny.
There's nothing funny today.
It was
So
all-
when's the good news coming?
Oh, I thought you said this was gonna be a nice. Said you were gonna be a nice break. I'm
We'll have to-
Well, wasn't wasn't such a
You
nice
missed the
break.
mark.
I think we'll have
Just
plenty of room.
a break, not a nice.
Just a
Public
break.
health board goes back to just the nurse.
So, but I'll get it measured so I know what kind of footage I can tell them, or have an idea if we put the whole cost of, like I said, typically they do the first 100 feet, and we're just responsible for the last 10.
Hasta la vista.
I mean, it's gotta be further than 100 feet, doesn't it?
only have some-
Melvin County stepped off, you thought it might be around 110,
still about.
but I was gonna take one of the
I think it is pretty.
secondary
much
roads,
3%.
drafting rooms deal and know for sure.
Okay.
Rule of the wheelie.
Yeah, hopefully then they'll do 100 feet free and we just pay for,
Yeah, the last
right,
day.
that's kind of needed to find out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or if it's over 100, then they charge you for every foot.
Yeah.
Jeez, lovely.
Hopefully we find, hopefully.
For something that we may never use.
How much you put on out cutting the shit?
Yeah, but it has to be able to start at least once a month.
What's that?
It has to be able to start at least once a month. If you have a backup generator, it has to be tested once.
You test it?
No, they're usually on a timer.
Start up like every Monday morning at 8 AM and run for a half hour.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's what all the towers do.
Okay,
yeah.
didn't know that.
So anyway, when I have more information, I will let you know, but I just gonna give you a heads up of what I know so far.
Hey, thank you. We're still there.
Yeah, and Susie was over there cleaning when I was over there.
Oh, good,
So,
good.
I'll be good heck.
she had the carpet shampoo going.
Good.
Oh,
So,
let's see.
So we're deep cleaning,
I bet that is some mighty water.
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She
she's
still has
dreading
the
that bid right
outside.
now.
This many times.
yeah.
Until the water runs clean.
Anyway,
All right.
Thanks,
Good
Steve.
news coming.
thanks for the news.
yeah, sorry, it couldn't be better news.
Yeah, well,
No, we're just kidding.
it's not the worst news
Yeah.
we've had yet
I know.
today.
No, certainly not.
Not the worst.
Right.
It's what it is.
Pretty
You're
minimal.
just the messenger.
Yeah, so, thank you guys.
Thank you.
No, thank you for thanking us.
We shoot every third messenger. Just left.
Yeah.
I like that. That's kind of a nice
That's a good
motto.
one.
Okay.
Is there anything else we can do here? Or what do we?
Unless we wanna cut a F-150 for 70 grand.
How
much are you
I really
already-
kinda do, cause it still just kinda chaps my butt that we got rid of a pickup that only had like 40,000 miles on it and so we could get a new one. So our past,
No, that was bad.
so our past sheriff could take one home with him.
Did he take it?
He bought it from the dealership,
So we traded it in for a new
new vehicle,
New vehicle.
Roger got a new vehicle.
Tahoe, and then Jim bought it
from the
from the
dealership.
dealer.
Well, we're at 172, you had
How
another,
much?
Whatever the trade value
whatever
was.
trade value, you had another 70 on that. You
It's
know,
not
back up to-
illegal.
No, I didn't even.
Kind of unethical. though.
Unethical maybe. Cause that would have been a,
Even 300,000.
that would have been like the second newest vehicles or whatever, third or fourth vehicle.
I like round numbers.
I do too.
Plan.
All right,
Then you're about
now I know.
guaranteed some of it's gotta come out of.
So I got one out of there.
Yeah, they could have kept that.
Let's add another 70. What's half of this? 41,500.
7,500, 70,500.
70,750.
Why do I have the whole page that don't look like we even looked at? Oh, that's part of stuff. And
Probably.
then that's got all of the,
Some of the stuff that's scaring me too is the revenue side. That's just kind of crap shoot too. You know, that's,
Well,
that revenue's supposed to offset tax asking. And that's really just a hypothetical number.
if that's
Got
the,
243, 67, 650, is that what you got?
Out of general basic, yep.
Make it
wait a minute, where was I?
250.
140.
He ain't gonna do the
for
243 anyway.
140.
Sorry. didn't say
Good,
that
I mean, you
out
can
loud.
round it to 250, that's just gonna.
What was that, 70,000?
750.
Doesn't matter to me. Yeah, he did reduce revenue though.
well, here's what, when I looked at that,
But if
What was the
it's not
total number
actually
now,
gonna
Dave?
increase.
243, 650.
You know what I
Let's
mean?
go round up to an even.
Like that
250.
contract.
Maybe it's a good thing you decrease, because it's not inflating,
I like rounding.
round down.
misrepresenting the tax asking, I guess.
Right.
So yeah, in that way, yeah.
245.
250.
Be nice. Don't be nice.
So when you look at revenue,
Craig, did you round up to 250?
Yeah, I agree.
250,000.
I'm still stuck, I'm still lost, right, cause my salaries and your guys' salaries is way different, so, but I was hoping mine was more correct, cause then we'd be way less, we'd be like,
Or even more or less.
you know.
I said, which I think 300,000.
With the reduction of the one vehicle, we're down to a 16.2% increase. So we've
And
got,
most of that is wages because, 5,000, 5,500 up. That's all we did, Kyle, was 5,500 times 10,
Yeah, that's about a 7% raise for them guys.
but we subtracted off what his total raises were, is how we came up with 87,000 to deduct off of his salary.
Yeah, I guess I don't.
There's making these speakers all the time.
When they do, like this 13,000, I get that, well, whatever. His $66,000 increase on the regular salary administration secretaries from last year.
One of those is Amy. So
I
we
mean,
dropped,
That's 66,000, his budget is.
we took that down to
66,000.
111.
Yeah, but it's 66,000, that's where I'm coming up with my number, cause it's 66,000 higher than what it was last year. His proposed budget,
No,
and that's how I came up with my number of being 170 or 60,000.
oh,
Savings
well-
by these budget, the raises were
Well,
presented.
right.
So here's where we're different, Kyle. We're actually going to come out the same. We just did the 10 deputies to start with.
Right,
And then as we went down, the jailers, we knocked 7,000 off, sheriff, we knocked 7,400. Amy and Susie, we knocked 13,000 off. So you add those all back into all together, it's probably very close to what you got.
probably, is it like?
So yeah, he added Amy on that secretary's line, the admin secretary line. Supposedly, she's getting paid out of this part-time salary
Which we took
line,
off.
which,
Which could be, I just took
what
all.
did you, what
his
did you make
projected
that?
rate.
We never changed that. We never.
No, we never did knock that one off.
See, I just took all projected raises that he had, and then I took my spreadsheet and put all the raises over here and added them together, and then I subtracted the two
I
and
think
come up with
that
100
Jail
like
one,
60 or $170,000
go down.
difference. So if you take another 50,000 off yours, you might be right where I'm at.
see, and that'll bring you right at $300,000.
We'll back to.
Hopefully that's where, maybe that's where the difference is, cause you got
Your
another
deputies
salary
get
you need to subtract
5,500.
off.
Yeah, we left that in there because he had a double.
I'm gonna go find out for sure. where Amy-
I think you're right, you didn't take that back out. We got onto something else.
I'm not very good at math, but I'm thinking, how can I be that
Pretty
far
good.
off?
So basically.
Maybe I'm not right either.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like, god damn.
How-
I just went off this sheet here,
Okay.
this one, right down that sheet. You put their current salaries in and their projected salaries.
That was why I was having trouble figuring that all up here, cause when we talked about that was what was in my mind, what you were going down that sheet.
What was your total you reduced salary by?
I total,
Yeah, she's currently getting paid out of that part-time jailer line, I know.
saves 100
And she's at 49.9 for the salary. Which is 50,000.
almost 150,000.
What did you say her salary was? I mean,
49.9.
That put me at 164,300 total start off salaries.
Okay, yeah, I can,
49,900.
So. So are you reducing that part-time jailer line by 50,000 then?
Oh, which one is the part-time?
Where do you
jailer
see
line?
that?
The one that's at
280,000.
Yeah, cause
Yeah, that
isn't
one
he
is-
paying them both out of the one line there, so the part-time jailer, you could take that out,
So
right?
if we
so
took the
230.
50 out of there, we'd be at 300.
Right, that's a,
I know.
So you want that to be 230? Isn't that the one that he had us move up to?
makes sense. why-
There's the one
I
where
love
he,
life.
he didn't
It's
even
so
know
good.
where Amy was, cause he's put Amy down below.
Right. he
With
added her
regular
in
salary
without
admin
subtracting her out of
secretaries.
somewhere else.
But then we asked, well, is she already up here?
Thanks.
And he's like, I don't
No
know.
problemo.
All right, very good.
I'm glad I
So,
took.
so part-time
Glad I kept questioning it.
health
That's
jail,
gonna
we're
drop- that's gonna drop
subtracting
some more down
50
here
from
yet,
that?
If I can,
Yep.
there's a little bit
Oh,
more.
shit. Yep. Let me do that right now.
Real
And
good.
I'll take another.
Thanks. Sorry, I.
So that'll
cussed.
be
Sorry about
250
that.
now instead of 3.
About time, Costello.
It might take another.
Feeling.
Careful what you wish for.
Right.
We'll be
Take
over
50
two-
off that.
Be over
Off of
300,000.
250 up.
Times seven.
It's 49.9.
Percent.
Off your
Cause Amy
280.
was in there twice.
This is jail.
To take her out of the part-time jailers, it's at 280
One sixty-five.
that we moved down. See it?
Right here, cause he moved it up to 300,
740.
the 280.
Well, he was guessing on salary increases,
Okay,
so if you take 280, because we had
Okay,
Amy's
so-
salary in there twice,
Amy's in there twice,
on a different line
you
item.
stole my white out.
not me.
500.
Okay, so we're gonna take and make it down to 240. So what you said?
230.
230. Oh, yeah, we're taking 50.
5990.
230.
371.
That drops us down to 12.8% increase.
Well, considering we made up for some back to blue monies
Yep.
and actually counted our deputies that matter as well. I think that's, I mean, Gene probably would like to see us get another 6 out of that, but.
You know,
34,000.
I think with
Supplemental.
wanting to make some
It's
improvements and
34,000
changes, there has
instead
to
of
be
25 or
instead of 25.
And so I think-
34,000
I'm happy now.
supplemental.
I am
Is
too,
the
because
reduction
you
from
you
FICA
didn't
and
want to
IFRS with
deliver
that last
the no new
change.
things, no new changes, the morale, you know.
Well,
I
yeah,
just think
300
we
off
need
general,
to get some of the.
34 off sub.
I love it when a plan comes together.
Yes,
I round up to 3.
Cause those
I
are
would
separate, right?
Especially.
They are.
yeah,
And
On the
that's,
general basic, round up to
Worked hard to
300.
make, find it.
absolutely.
work.
Supplemental
We
is
did.
what it is, that's.
We did.
So when we're
Good
done
job,
hammering on
good
that,
job.
can we address
Who's
revenue?
next?
just for
You're on a
minute
roll.
so
That's
that
still,
we're not-
Can we do what?
Address revenue.
That's still only.
Cause I don't know where he's getting the
11,000
revenue,
of
and
tax
that's,
dollars.
we need to get that as close as
We take it
we
to
can, is
230.
what I've been told a little bit. So if we go line by line down, you know,
I didn't grab that out.
kind of,
it's like page 8.
Is it easy to do with your computer program, just to
We got
punch these
1,000,
numbers in
now
the way they are?
They were gonna
and
make
we'll just
3,000, I just am
proceed.
curious, did we ever go
Give a
through all
hypothetical
this?
where we can meet at, or does it take?
you gotta have all the changes in.
It's like
That's
very time consuming.
Hit or miss.
We gotta
Just
get it
let
into
be,
Tyler
because here
first
it's
and then,
85,
and then
55,
Michelle
and
can
we're
enter
250.
stuff.
So how many new
Let's say-
dollars is on the
Now
sheriff's
it's
budget now,
78.
when you figure that 12%, Craig?
What's that?
He did
How
go
many-
up because.
How many dollars did we take out?
Well,
I think
what will be the
$20.
new tax asking out of the sheriff's office at
Yeah,
that
no,
12%?
Six, nine, I think it's
1,861,525.
Walking out a car.
How many dollars total is that in new budget?
We figure here's.
That is
But then I wonder though, his
87
revenue.
minus-
212.
212,000?
Yep.
That's a
Um,
long ways from 650 or whatever the hell.
That's just in sup, or
I'm
in
just
basic.
looking at like our new tax asking dollars, cause we're gonna have some new in the EMA.
We'll have to tell you.
Actually,
Not a lot.
no, actually, your EMA budget, what I've seen is less, cause you're
Yeah,
taking.
you
a
know
lot
what?
power
Because of the
dollars
tower
out.
stuff, we are less.
You're way less than your EMA budget, from what I've seen.
Oh, look at us go.
Go, Ty, go.
Shift it, move it from here over to.
Well,
there.
I'm just trying to figure out that 569.
Do we?
I really
need
didn't
look
wanna
at
get
the
halfway
revenue
there,
since it's
but
so
we're gonna
different?
Say that again.
Do you think we even need
Know
to
what I
look at
mean?
revenue, or is that just a wash? or
The new
nothing?
tax asking.
Cause we've got,
I really didn't-
Well, he's reduced revenue by $36,000
From year,
from 25 to 26.
and it dropped,
That's just supplement, or that's just the general fund.
and that's down 36,000 from 23, 24.
Yes. Good point.
we'll look at.
I
the-
mean,
Well, just look at the big number and not the little
but
one.
what am I looking at here?
Getting them onions out.
It's gonna offer.
These are
something
grand.
that I didn't have
Oh,
any.
you can.
What, is this two
They might be on
different?
my hand.
Some of them are
Oh,
different funds.
The contract law enforcement, I have a note that it should be 55,000, is that
I
right?
had it.
Is that because of a car? I thought that was that car deal.
Is that the?
What is the car deal? Would
Was that-
someone like to,
wasn't That a deal? What
yeah.
was the swap with EMA for the car in Manela's? Wasn't there a deal?
They're gonna be
Manila.
24,000 coming in from Manila,
Okay,
okay?
To
For a
EMA?
year and a half, they're gonna give free coverage down there. Think free, cause you're getting a vehicle for it.
Who,
But
we
they're
are
not
getting
gonna-
a vehicle or?
EMA.
The EMA will
He's gonna
get,
get that
they
vehicle.
get that Tahoe,
Yeah,
which if you
Oh.
stop and think about it, he's spending 70,000 for a new vehicle. This has got 18,000 miles on it. And it's got the same thing, all the equipment, you know, other than, he's got his own laptop and stuff, you know, that EMA already has. But that vehicle's fully equipped with all the gadgets that a patrol car would have, so he's got, for his setting his laptop in there and all that. The only thing he's gotta add is the stuff in the back for the TV monitor for the drones and that stuff.
So EMA is getting that vehicle?
So does it
And it's going
currently say
getting
sheriff
through
on
the
it?
It's gonna be
Sheriff's department.
gifted, yeah.
So
Get the sheriff's
where's the
department,
EMA's current vehicle going?
It's staying with.
well, we
EMA.
can't get rid of it, I don't know how we're gonna move that boat without it.
they wanna
And
keep
the
it.
trailer and stuff.
And they're gonna build
Well, you know what
eventually.
I said.
Huh?
You know what I said. Do it, trade. Get rid of that boat. And this boat shed.
Well, we could work on that next. But I'm okay with that, I mean, we're just kinda going with what we're working on now, I mean, we gotta deal with that boat, cause we're stuck with it, you know?
Hmm.
Who do you wanna give it to? Cause they're calling it the county dive team now.
Craig?
No.
Right.
He's talking
Oh.
about-
Building right over here.
Greg, you got a boat, go fishing, buddy, we're all, we'll buy the beer.
I
we're
got
all
a
going.
farm pond, I
No.
might as well have a boat.
They're
For
calling it
you,
the
that you
county
sit
dive.
next to him, he's giving you the boat.
They call it the county dive team now.
Oh.
All right.
House convenient.
His.
That's what I was told.
That's why I think the 80.
Team players.
Yeah.
The difference was a bit.
Yeah.
Give it to him.
And is that
I'll give
Tahoe
it
the
to
one
him.
that Roger
Well, then
currently
Chief can haul
was
it around.
driving before he bought his?
This one that the city of Manila on that.
Oh, City of Manila.
That way we
I
don't
too
have-
should have it, shouldn't they?
Public, what's that?
The county dive team, shouldn't they, the ones with the, having the
Is that kinda
boat?
messy the way they did that?
Well,
I mean, why?
I would say
why-
yes.
Why ain't that called the county training facility then?
I guess
Cause
if they're
the
gonna
county
contract with sheriff's office, they want
$200,000 towards that building. out there.
We did, the county?
We paid for half of it.
It's all good.
no.
How about budgeted out?
Wow.
I don't have the phone, so. Can't.
That's my frustration, is trying to figure my,
23?
it's like trying to walk through
24?
pea soup.
No, I.
Nothing to stand on, you just
There's
keep
only so
thinking.
much I can take.
I mean,
Come on.
number 4, that wouldn't take long to
So-
clean that up, would it?
Nope.
To wrap this up though,
Got some-
300,000 on general basic, here's 34, whatever change
Good.
off sup,
Yep,
we're good.
were you good with that? You're
And then
How
he's
much we're taking off sup again?
34,
34, but that's really not, that's just however it figures out.
right, that's just the
That's auto.
mathematical formula. Based on what the salaries
Or
are.
did I lose the page? Oh, I wasn't on that page. Number 5, isn't he?
What was it, 34?
Yeah.
34,000?
That's what I wrote down.
Yeah,
34 off of general.
no,
Supplemental.
Direct 300K, and then what was this up?
34 was the sub. 300,000 is general sub, general basic.
34,000. Yeah, I got the 300 down. 34K on general stuff. Rural basic and stuff there, what it kind of don't exist. And now we're down to 12%, is that what you said? Okay.
Yep, 12.8.
13.
I mean, we cut it, the gain in half, so I guess in Washington standards, we just cut his budget by 19%, according to how we do things in Washington DC. It's like, no, he doesn't have 12%
we
more
have-
money than he did the year before, no, we cut him, what do you, was asking? That's a cut,
That's a cut. So we
we cut.
have our own CBO, it's our Craig Budget Office.
I mean, that's the shame about, not only to get it about Washington, but yeah, if we're planning for a 7% increase, you only get a 5% increase, that's 2% cut.
2% cut,
Yeah.
good job.
Oh my.
That is Washington
That is
logic right
Washington
there.
logic, right there.
Okay, well, we'll accept that as our logic.
So what's next?
The attorney.
Yep.
For Terry.
This one should be as in depth with,
Which number?
Rogers, because
Oh,
of,
I
Number
gotta get,
four.
what number is he?
Number four.
cause you take and you knock back him to what did we say, 2,800 on?
2,800.
I mean, he told us he was coming back with different numbers.
He did. He actually did. He was receptive, to our,
So we're gonna cut him
I
back
think you just go with 2,800 across the board then.
for his whole patrol budget, just 2,800 bucks add, that's it.
Every employee,
We're all
$1,000.
we're all employees. Yep. Times 4.
2,800 times 4.
He wanted to move,
Married 85% of them.
Martha?
Or Martha.
he can have one person at 85%, and he wants to get her to 85%.
she's not really a deputy.
I understand that, but, and he was under the, he would do it over time, he wouldn't have to do it all in 1 year, cause that's what we said.
Okay.
That's I think for Martha, to get her to 85%, is I wrote down 16,000 increase.
I wrote it be
Sorry.
$112,624.
Yeah, I had 112,604.
604 is what I
I
had.
had 24. I can't hear very well.
16,000 increase, but even if you did Martha over 2 years, 3 years, 3 years, you know. But it is gonna go up, I mean, it just,
At what point, and I mean, is that,
You know how hard it's gonna be to get to her to 85% if we say something like Dave just said, just say 5,000 a year. But increasing him, it's gonna take 5 years. You see what I mean?
oh yeah, I just, I know.
Should we put him on a freeze for 3 years and give her 5 years?
Sure. Whatever you want.
Well, I can see that, what you're saying, he gets 2,800, their 2,800 certainly is a heck of a larger percent.
I'm fine with that, I'm fine.
that's where, yeah, I mean, I've always been a proponent of that, cause the people on the bottom, that's a big number.
But what are we
And
making,
it's
what are we
really-
making the recorder, auditor, treasurer with
You're
their
good
employees?
point, good point.
No,
They're getting about-
2,800 is gonna be,
You're a good point.
Well, that's what we said before,
Maybe we
was
should find a,
4%. 4% is what they're doing with their deputy, with what the reset for the comp, rough. Right?
Yeah, I don't know, probably.
I think it's right in there, that 4.
the 4% of Michelle's
it's cost of living
wages
is what,
way
2.9 for
different
the year?
than 4% of Bonnie's wage. That's what I'm saying. So where do you land between them two?
Between which two?
Well, 4% of, just say Michelle or Megan's wage is way different than 4% of, say Bonnie's wage.
It is.
That's why I like a 2,500 or 2,200 or whatever. That's why I like them, that's why I like numbers like that. Cause otherwise, yeah, next spread all the time, and that's always, well, they make more of this and that. It's always, nobody's ever gonna be happy. At least I feel better that, well, we run into that last year with the one department, how come they got big raise? And we didn't, well, you guys got the same amount,
Everybody got the same amount.
yeah.
Almost like group punishment.
Well, it is, nobody goes off recess. You know, 4% of
Cause Kyle was acting up,
64,000
nobody
versus
just go up for recess. I like that.
4% of 52,000 or 44,000, it's a big difference.
Seems like Dave's onto something over there.
On just,
I just
Get
see-
my-
I just don't have the right
Difference in pay?
spreadsheet here.
To pay between the
I'm just starting to jot
Bonnie
down,
and,
if we,
Well,
2,800 for
just
Colin
Bonnie's
minus what he
64,
projected as a
65 and.
51.99. I'm just
Megan
totaling
has
up
that
what we need to take off.
44.3. So, I mean, you just can't say you can't just do a 4%, cause that ain't, to me, ain't fair.
How much did you say?
He was
Up and
asking,
just going?
he was asking for.
He never switched from what the comp board had. These numbers
Right.
reflect what the
So he was
I just
requested
brought him
8.
back down to what we said for 28,
Right.
just like we did for Roger. Martha, she's at
She's at 96.
96, he was asking 110. 85% of his new adjusted salary is
112.
112,604.
112,604.
So he's giving us a deal.
He's 16,000.
Yep, that's what we said, 16
You wanna see
increase.
somebody scream, we wouldn't give our sheriff 15,000,
Right, so that's what,
and he carries a gun. She carries a gavel. Not yet, she ain't a judge,
Well,
but,
she actually carries a briefcase, but okay.
well.
I don't know what's in it.
We don't know what's in it, right?
I don't know, I mean, we gave all the deputies 5. Get them
She
up.
just got a big bump,
She did, we gave her a
We
big
did,
vote.
we just gave her,
a big
Mhm.
bump.
just gave her a good one to keep so that she didn't become,
And so
A
there's a
gavel
difference
holder.
there. Those guys
What
haven't
did-
gotten
What
anything
did she
for
get
a
last year,
couple of
6,000
years.
last year?
I think it was,
No, about 16, huh?
Oh,
Or no, she was at, it's hard to say, I guess we changed it, but I mean, they budget 80,797.
Yeah,
Didn't you, work these,
it was a big one.
she went from
Raise the amount from-
87,97 to 90,000.
I guess raise
The
them out.
current pay is 96.
96.
Would you go an even 4, make her
was
even
16
100?
already? Is that what it
No.
was? 16 up?
From one year
Last
to the
year.
next. Yep.
An even 4.
For who?
Martha.
Giving her a bigger raise than Collins. She got a big raise last year. How about that?
This is
I'd go up to
he
state.
pushed to the corner, so there's the obsession.
She does, well, part of your justification is the same thing you use for Paul and Collins. She's actually an attorney, so she's got all the credentials. That's part of your. And here's the
Insisted on
problem.
an elected official.
How many people, how many counties have a full-time attorney and a full-time assistant?
More than you think.
More than
Really?
you think.
Yeah.
That was.
Cause I looked.
That's good. See, right there's some more.
See, I did
justification.
that, whole deal. Now I was surprised by that also.
Yeah.
But then their clerks, they're.
Paid way lower.
clerks. And one of them had a part-time clerk and a victim's advocate, you know, so they all had was have all that written down someplace, someday I'll write
I
sure.
think I've already.
Excuse me. But I've never shared it because it seems so opposed.
I mean, if we could if we paid Martha at 75%, she would move to 99,357. Then if you could say them to 80% next year, 85% 2 years from now, or so gradually get her to where he wants. That'd be the first step in doing that.
That's kind of where I was going without figuring what percentage that was.
So you're doing what percentage?
I mean, if,
75% his salary, they're about
Right.
just shy of,
just shy of 100, you mentioned getting to 100, but
right?
His new wage?
yes. It's a new wage of 132,476, I think is the number I use.
I like your logic. I just don't like the numbers.
Well, I mean, because
I mean,
Guy, you're right about the fact that it's gonna happen with those sheriff deputies, is once you move them once, it's there forever. Now, every percent increase or dollar amount increase is
Yeah,
based on that new number, and we all know it just goes up.
yeah.
Which would reduce that line item by 10,000. In change, just say 10,000. For Martha. 70%.
And his is 5,200 or something,
And-
right, almost.
Yeah, 51.99. And
And
then,
then are we doing on the clerks threes?
Which one?
Two clerks.
Jody and Bonnie.
I don't know if after Dave's argument, I don't know if that's even that, cause I agree with you, I mean. You said that the rest of the second floor.
So set them at a dollar amount,
Yeah, I wanted to go a dollar.
give them $1 an hour raise.
Well, you know, like you
Wish I
said,
had my other spreadsheet, where
Is
I
this-
had all that other stuff figured out, cause I could give you a better idea, which, I didn't bring enough paper with me today.
Kyle, if you did 2,500 each for them,
Use that photographic memory of yours.
I'm going through it right
75
now.
cents.
Kinda quality.
if you did 2,500 each cash amount, that's $5,000, 5,000 up from 121,660 last year is right at a 4.1% increase, which is very, very similar to what all the rest of second floor got.
Is it?
4% is what I figured on most of them.
So you wanna just do everybody on the second floor, 2,500?
Well, some of them are gonna automatically follow
Oh,
them,
true.
call the deputy
That's right.
status, so it's
That's right.
different.
It is different.
Yeah.
Well, if you look at the raises from 2023.
Well, they went from 15% and he's proposing 13%.
8,000.
They were up 15% last year.
Yeah,
Attorneys, secretaries,
big raises.
15%.
So I'm proposing 2,500 each for them, which would raise it
It's all, yeah.
third line item to
Raised to what, 126,660?
126,660.
So that's
26.
$11,000 decrease.
Yep,
What was Martha's number in the end? 99 what?
357.
Minus 11 something as well.
That's still a lot of money for 4 people.
Isn't that something?
A big number.
It's a big number.
and then if you really go through a lot of his other ones, I mean, he his legal book was 1,000. You had to go down the line, I highlighted like service fees.
Court-related services.
That maintenance, repairs and equipment, he wanted to raise to 35,000, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he did.
instead of the 23.
And I jotted behind that unfunded mandate.
I got that.
I don't,
Cloud-based is what I.
Cloud storage, Carpel.
Yeah.
they have to have that.
Something,
for-
some IT thing.
Which hopefully,
Oh, yeah, that's right. Now I remember.
hopefully,
Can we
I
pull
second
that,
off.
can we pull that, put it in
Yeah.
Jake's? I know it's not, but fund that through Jake. So the cleaner, I mean, all IT goes through Jake, even though it's not, Jake's not gonna be the one operating it. Sometimes I wonder,
That's a good idea.
I mean, just an IT budget.
Why can't we just make Colin go through Jake?
Well,
Elected officials.
he's elected official and he'll say, he has to follow Iowa code for how he files certain cases.
I don't think that I mean, I get the Carpel thing. I mean,
Right.
I get.
I get that, I mean, not saying he
Just
don't.
funnel that through the IT budget and the IT budget pays for that for him. I mean, he still can have his program.
I'm kind of Terry of Millen.
What's
Jake's
that?
not that great with money.
Who, what?
Jake's not that great with money.
I agree.
That could be
I mean,
open
I'm a fruit crack, capital B, but
How dare
most
us say
people are
that.
not. Yeah, he's not that great with
It was a
money.
question.
I know, no, I'm just, you do you, but I'm
It's still
just
gonna
saying.
cost the same regardless.
I know, exactly.
Bottom line, it's. same-
Exactly.
same number.
I just,
It could
I guess
cost
my-
more because if it didn't get bought this year.
my,
some of
that was
used
my,
for
my
raises.
part was that it's, we took it all out of everybody else's budget on the second floor, all IT stuff to clean up budgets was like.
Oh, so that's.
That budget's a lot tighter, easier to.
But we didn't do it to Roger though. I mean, we left him there.
No, but I just, as we progress forward, I mean, it's not saying,
I'd feel more comfortable after our assessment comes out, but that, when we find out the
okay,
direction and. They should be talking about Colin about the assessment.
At some point in time, I don't know, even with Roger's budget, with all that. I mean, I don't necessarily know Jake's the person to manage all that, but how confused were we with all this stuff Roger had in his budget? That's how it kinda used to be with
All of
the
it.
stuff on the second floor. I mean,
Right, and then we pulled it all out.
yeah, I don't think that they were, I mean, we just don't know. I mean, the department heads knew. Oh, we didn't know.
It's designed that way.
That's why I just suggest maybe if
No.
we had somebody that had their thumb on all that, it's like. But
I was tracking
I have to go down and look at all this.
You go down the line though, I mean, he does have $1,000 equipment and furniture that hasn't been spent the last 2 years.
as well.
Yeah, that's on the next page top.
Well, he's got 4,000 in schooling and nobody spends 28.
1,000 on furniture that he never spends.
Get rid of that.
Where's that?
Top of the
line.
second page.
Are we still in the county attorney?
Yeah,
Yeah,
secretary, top line.
very top line.
He's only budgeted it once.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, just this
yeah, that's right, he
year.
did budget it last 2 years.
Yeah.
Aha, boo-hoo.
So what was he gonna get with that? Do you say?
I have no notes in the margin.
I know, I don't have any notes about it
I
either.
don't either. I highlighted it and that was about it.
I can do
Mike
nothing.
and I moved around
You
a
guys had me
little bit.
confused for a second.
Sorry.
It's all right, it's not hard. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. 64 divided by 424, 284.
Otherwise, I don't know what else we can do.
Right.
I mean. I don't know.
424, 284.
So like the $1,000, we don't know.
For the furniture.
Yeah.
That's newly budgeted this year.
So he must have had a plan.
Maybe needs,
No,
somebody needs a new chair or something.
with the reduction in all the salary stuff, it's equals a 6.3% increase
From total budget to total budget.
from last year to
So,
this year,
and this is-
in the general fund.
This is what I got today. I took out 51.99.
Yeah.
For Colin, 10,000 for Martha, 11,000 for Bonnie and Joni,
Yep,
and everything else stays the same then.
well, and the $35,000.
Oh,
The
yeah,
increase.
yeah, because you gotta add that back. in.
Yeah, I guess I only added 10 and it's actually 12.
Right.
So probably
the
closer to
number-
6.5%, maybe.
Which lowers that total 440 by what? You have that?
It makes the 440 into 426, 284.
Good.
426, 284.
And then there's also gonna be IPers and FICA go down.
Yeah,
Won't be significant like with Roger.
it's like 6.87% increase.
Okay.
Yeah, very true.
6.87.
What was it before?
I didn't see what it was before.
He don't have near the computers,
No.
cars, car insurance, car computer,
Yeah.
all that you have to sift through that.
Had a $600,000 budget for 4 people. Guess that's what, about 150 grand a person?
Is that for them,
Well,
for them floor? $89,623.
I mean, you know, when you've
Government is
got
just not good when you
12,000
make
for
it profit.
court related, and then the maintenance and repairs, and that's that new system. That's a big number, 23,000.
It's 35.
yeah, I actually had to go up.
It's up to 35.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the 20, that was the wrong number to start
Okay.
with.
Just quit talking to me. Now I feel worse about that line.
That's one of that new, or that computer program that you've gotta buy, right, that,
Yeah, Carpel.
yeah.
You're right.
So who's next?
Well, those were the.
Those were the two big ones that we needed to.
Right, so supplemental decreases $4,500.
4,500?
Yeah,
Well.
Yeah, this one, I have to talk to Paul before I leave at 8:30.
Paul, yeah, well, that was the other one I was gonna say is, do we wanna,
We do need.
what is Paul's up percentage?
What do we wanna do? Yeah,
Where do we
We gotta
wanna
get a
cut his
truck
up
and
in
trailer.
half?
right, exactly, what he mentioned today.
Yeah, what is his increase over last year on what's in his budget? And what do we wanna
What
cut?
number's Paul?
20.
20?
My thing, and he said, we keep them moving, but you buy a truck and trailer like that, gotta have it, gotta keep it moving.
Yeah, it's gotta pay for, it's gotta take away something that's on that.
But he said, sound like they had no problem.
Well, they
we have
hired
guys in
part-time
there.
guys, I mean, like, I think Banger's gonna be, probably helping them again next summer. Ashinger. He did last year.
I don't wanna change the 200,000 for
Rock.
rock, I mean, I feel like that
No,
truly targets spots in the spring.
and there might be,
budget by?
what's that?
Yeah,
Lower
so
budget by $1. 201 though.
201.
200,001, I guess, 200,001,
$1. Well, so far,
yeah.
And this has all that charter oak building stuff in it, right?
Yeah, and I
It should.
don't know that it's gonna get off the ground in this fiscal, but it'll be possible,
a partial pay.
yeah.
Rich materials actually.
But building cut and all that might not.
Excuse me,
But that's in here?
yeah, 300,000's in here,
That was 300,000.
under building,
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
it's at the
Oh, there it is,
back.
at the very end.
So.
New equipment. So is it in there, the truck and trailer, 1,176,000? For new
Equipment.
equipment, was it in there? My papers he brought are in my office. I know. Which is actually
Where's
less,
that three-
that expenditure is less than in the current year,
I did it
by
right,
over $200,000.
I did it right, he has about a 15%.
What is he? Does he got his guys' places there?
There,
Well, that's,
that's already.
It's $1.20 an hour, isn't it?
right, that's a 3-year deal, and
Oh, sure.
we did that last year.
It's in the second year
Yeah. So we don't have to do that with landfill or Saginaw roads.
for another whole year.
Yeah. 2 years ago.
2 years, yeah, cause we got another year. Well, in 2 years, we'll have the new one started, so you'll be negotiating. And
Right.
so that's you, Craig.
Right now, it's
You and Kyle.
Not again.
Not again.
Well, there was a stretch there where we just kept doing everything. Don't you remember? You and I. Kinda like the way we're rotating that. Will that skip me when it gets?
I mean, his total budget
It's not up that much.
No,
is 1.5%.
I know.
right.
from 24, 25, 25, 26. Sure would like to have everybody else at 1.5%.
Is that includes the truck and trailer?
5%.
Is
I
that-
don't know, we don't know.
I know, I don't know if that's, do you have your papers
Oh,
from him?
It includes the 300,000 for
Look
the
at the new
building.
equipment page that he always gives out.
Shut along the back. Right, here we go.
That's from Terry Cohen.
He has. Yes,
I don't know.
Cat 150 Joy motor grader. Two of them, 468,000, one Max semi at 160,000, one center dump at 80,000.
So that's, is that the tractor trailer he's talking about?
What's the totals?
So they're budgeted,
They're budgeted.
1.175 million.
Yep. Yep, so they're
That's
budgeted.
what's budgeted.
So I think we could tell
So they're
them,
in the budget,
Yeah.
so we,
So if you're gonna approve his budget,
they're in it.
they're in it.
they're in
I
it.
would say go ahead, and then especially if they charter up, don't get off the ground to the following fiscal year.
I mean, that's 2 years
Right,
in a
that'll
row.
stay in his fund balance.
Right.
2 years in a row, they budgeted 1.175.
That would stay in the fund balance, it'd make life a
2 years
little
ago,
easier
it
for
was
the other
just
two.
365.
So I'd say with a very minimal increase that he has, I think he said good. I would
That
point,
includes the Charter Oak building.
include the charter.
Does that pay him just till June? No, he don't,
Yeah.
he won't be in this check.
He won't be in it at
In
all.
the new.
I think he's got a consulting fee, in his budget, and when you look at the engineer costs at 335,000 in his budget for engineering salary, I think that includes some consulting
40,000.
fees
He's gotta take 3 months off.
at,
He has to take how much off?
3 months,
40,000
2
to him?
months.
3
3
months.
months?
I can't remember.
Is
Is it 2 months after he gets his first check? I can't remember.
I can't
I don't
remember.
remember.
I know it's like 2,
I
3
can't wait
months.
till I get to know that stuff.
So leave his the way it is then?
I'm not that far away,
Yeah.
but I'm
and
way
this is
too
the
far.
biggest one by far.
Drool about it.
What did he do for the admin group?
When? What?
They all got those, well,
But that's not a 3-year contract. The admin
We
group
should
that
do it
likes to
now
talk
so
to
I
us.
can make the same money and not have to work.
We'd have to ask him how
Sorry,
he broke
Cameron.
that down, because he has it broken down.
Do you
But
know,
no, it's just not in this document.
do you know what the admin group is getting in his budget? Where's that at?
It's at regular salary engineer, 335. And part of that is gonna be is Tim, part of that is Ben, and part of that is a consultant, I believe.
don't you have to have, office gal Kathy?
Kathy's,
Kathy's, yeah.
she's separate, she's engineer, something else, assistant.
Assistant.
'Cause I thought the admin group were the Foremans and Brent
Oh.
and Casey and.
Yeah, and they,
Oh, okay.
they're negotiation
Yeah.
every year too.
Well, they're not a union or anything. They come and like to plead their case to us to say what they'd like to be at, and then we go from there.
Sean and Tim.
What do they
I don't
call
know
the
where
admin, you call them the admin group?
Yeah.
Is that Sean and Tim, right?
Sean, Tim, Damon.
So that would be.
Is that regular salary assistance
Right.
down here, the $200,000? Is that
That'd
all
be
of
the-
them
We've got
together?
4 guys.
We got more than that.
Yeah, that's not enough.
That's not enough. That's not enough.
Design and survey, I mean, it's kind of weird how they budget it, I guess it's not really weird, just.
It's kind of awkward.
I
I
can
wonder, I can find out who's under these.
And I can
I'll
ask
bring them
Paul.
next week. 'Cause I don't
I run down there anyways. Otherwise, I think it all looks good. That's the only question I had, because I didn't know what he penciled in for that. We never met with him anyways.
Somebody called the sheriff. There's a character out in the hall.
I'm gonna run down there.
Okay.
I gotta talk to him before he gets any.
Alright,
Okay, are you adjourning?
well,
Well, are you guys
yeah, we can adjourn.
adjourned?
I make a motion.
Motion?
Second, okay,
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We're done for the day. Ish.
I'm damn near finished, I don't want to be done,
It's
I'm
hard.
finished. No, it's not bad.
Well, we'll be back.
Just stuff we gotta get done. We gotta work through.
It's hard on the brain cells.
So I should come Thursday at 10 o'clock also,
Well, you are on the head of the IT department.
not the head. Caught that one really fast. But I have to be at.
I'm just the assistant.
Just
I-
not a quorum.
I have to be.
Okay,
the
just not a
Rotary.
quorum on Thursday.
Not a quorum on Thursday, but a quorum on Friday.
Jane, just you and I will be here
I have to
Thursday.
be at Rotary by noon, cause I.
Oh, it's
actually-
just gonna be,
Oh,
it's
it'll
just supposed to be
be-
less than an hour
Okay.
meeting.
I
Yeah.
have to have I'm actually the program.
You are the
I'm
program?
the program.
What are you programming about?
Actually, I brought Jake, Sigabart in to talk about his program, that stuff. I just have to bring the program.
That Rotary?
That's fun.
Yes, I have been the program before.
I've been the program
But
before.
nobody showed up.
That's kind of